Good morning, good morning, good morning to you. It is Tuesday. It's Tuesday, April 29, 2025. We are alive and well, and for that we give God thanks. It's the penultimate day in the month of April. I saw someone post the other day that April come peep and we are gone. April was literally in and out immediately. But we are drawing close to the end of the month of April. The month of May will begin on Thursday. So we look forward to welcoming the new month. Let us give thanks that we're alive and well to see this 29th day of April. And let's have a productive day. Good morning to you. If you're listening on the 90 FM band, 90.3, 90.5, 90.7, and 90.9, thank you so much for joining us on your radio. We appreciate your company there. If you're listening and watching on our YouTube channel, good morning to you. The channel is Nationwide 90 FM Live 2. That's Nationwide 90 FM LIVE with the number 2 beside that. So if you have not yet subscribed to that channel, please do so. And when you are doing that, you can also click the notification bell. That will help you get notified when we go live or when we post a video. And must let you know that we go live for most of our shows. So if you want to see while you listen as well, usually gives you a different experience, you can join us on YouTube. I want to say good morning to David Nebar, who is first in the YouTube chat this morning. Also seeing Nolly Love there. Good morning to you. Jean Sellers, good morning. Errol Townsend, Sir Errol, top of the morning to ya. Donna Johnson, good morning to you as well. Ines Campbell Murray, good morning to you. Monique Hunter, good morning, Monique. Orville Virtue, Michael Gopal, good morning to you. Gertrude Hubbard, Arlene Rowe, Albert Morgan, good morning. ISO Mario, top of the morning to you as well, Sir Mario. Marigold Weber, good morning to you. Marvelous Marvin, top of the morning to you as well. And all the others over there on YouTube, big up on yourself every time. If you are listening from our mobile app, which is available for free on the Google Play and the Apple App Store, good morning to you. Those on our website, the Listen Now option there, morning to you as well. Thank you for making it Nationwide 90 FM. I'm also live on TikTok. So if you want to see a different angle over there on TikTok, you can join me on TikTok. You can just search my name, Nora Gay Banton, and you should be able to find me there. Dean Richards, top of the morning to you. Andrew Wilmot, good morning to you, Sir Andrew. Carlos Santana, good morning to you. And all the TikTok people, them, big up on yourself every time. This morning, inside the Consumer Hour, we're going to take your calls. The phone lines are open for you. If you have any consumer-related matters and you have been trying to get it sorted, you've been doing all you know you should be doing, calling, reporting, or whatever the matter may be, and you have not been able to get the issue sorted, you can try to give us a call. We'll hear the issue and then we'll see how best we can assist you. If we can, we'll let you know. If we can't, then I'll let you know as well. The numbers to call, 876-630-9371. There's also 630-9372, 630-9373, 630-9374, and our digital line is 618-8255. Those are the numbers. At least two persons in the last, I'll say, month, when I've seen them either at an outside broadcast or out on the road, they've told me that we need to say the numbers a little bit slower. So I don't know if you've noticed, but I've been very deliberate in slowing down when I'm saying the numbers, and I hope it's helping with those who are trying to catch the numbers when we're saying them. I'm really trying, so I hope it's helping those who are not able to catch when we speak so quickly. All right, we already have a caller on the line, so let's go. I'll save my preamble for a little later. It won't be pre anymore, but it's okay. Jack, good morning.
Hello. Yes.
Yes,
This is Jack.
yes, good morning.
Miss Banton.
Yes, this is Miss Banton. Good
Yes.
morning.
Good morning. It says good morning to you. I spoke to you some months ago.
Mm-hmm.
We an internet provider in Jamaica,
Yes.
and I said to you, I was asking my agent to have my
Your internet
cable
disconnected.
disconnected.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And you gave me some preamble by saying I should write a letter, put it in a letter, and send it to my agent, and they should open it in front of the internet provider.
Mm-hmm.
Can
But
you
I
recall?
also remember you saying that the internet provider, when your agent or your assistant in Jamaica went, they asked them for the letter to be notarized wherever you are. I remember you saying
Okay.
that, and I
Right.
also said that you should go ahead and do that, so that if that's their policy, then you should go ahead and do that.
Okay, and should write a letter, get it notarized,
Yes.
put it in a letter, and have it open in front of the
Right.
internet providers.
Yes.
Right, and I even said to you, that's going back about 2 decades, okay? I did use that terminology to you. Then somebody recognized my voice, and they called me, and they said, send me $5,000, and I'll have it done for you within a minute. That's what keeps on corruption in Jamaica, okay? I sent $5,000. It was disconnected, man. It was disconnected. And then I said, what happened to the box? He said, throw this in the garbage. I'll get your box to put in your place, and you don't have to pay. Okay? That's what caused corruption when I try to do the right thing. So I am up and running, and it was disconnected. My kid was disconnected, reconnected, and all I had to do is pay under the table $5,000. Instead of me paying $10,000 a month. That's why I've gone to tell you about. When people try to do things the correct way, it does not work. You have to go under the table and do things corruptly. That's what happens in Jamaica and around the world. And that's my comment, man. Anything to say?
I am very concerned
Yes,
that
ma'am.
that you well, I guess you're okay with just saying it as it is on air. But
That I'm saying it on air because I did everything legal 5 times that I said to each time I
Understood.
send my agent down. I have to pay my agent to take taxi fare, have lunch, cost an additional $5,000 for her, what have you, and do
I
everything legal.
I understand, but I hear you, and I would be frustrated as well if I'm trying to do something for so long and it's I'm getting the runaround, and I do it illegally or through cut corners, and I
Just put that way. Let's put that way. Cut corner.
right, and
Somebody heard
and
my
and
voice.
it, and it
Somebody
got
heard my
done.
voice.
No,
It was
no,
done.
I don't know.
Pick up
I
her.
don't know who this person is. I don't know
No,
if
but you will
this,
never know.
and we will never know, of course, because you won't say. But it is very
No, you never
concerning
do
to
that.
me that this is the route that you had to take to get
Yes.
the process done. And it should be, and I'm not going to sit here and pretend that this is something new, or I'm not going to sit here and pretend to be shocked, because I am
Yes,
not.
ma'am.
Because I know that these things happen, and it happens in many different industries, in many different sectors of our society. In probably every area you can think of, there is a way to cut corners and get things done.
Hmm.
And it
And
is
I
a,
didn't try to cut corners. I
and
was
you
doing
did try to
everything
do it
straight up.
the correct way several times,
Straight up.
and you
Several
you
times.
you you met up on a wall, and so you
And
decided to
and
go this
somebody
way,
heard my voice, and so
and
I
assisted
got a
you.
phone
Yes.
call. I said, listen,
Now
I'm
it
just
is a
telling you what.
message. What I have to say is, it is a message to the service provider.
Hmm.
If you have persons, and I'm only assuming it could be someone within the system who could be able to do that for you, but if you have
Obviously.
persons who are able to collect money outside of your system and complete processes within your system, then you have a problem, because it
Yes.
means that persons are within your company, within your system, under your nose, making money from your incompetence.
Right.
And
Because,
so,
I'll
yes,
say this quickly, I won't keep you up much longer.
yes,
Because I think the system there, whether are supposed to be customer service or what have you,
mm-hmm.
either don't have enough, I don't want to say people who have any sense, or their intellectual level is not as much as I think mine is. But simple as that. There's a letter, da-da-da-da-da, here's your unit. No, you refuse it. Over and over and over. And I said, fortunately, somebody heard my voice. Give me a call.
Well,
25 G's.
we're
It was done.
yeah, we're up on the break, but thank you for calling,
Okay,
Jack. Just to
okay, Miss
highlight,
Barton.
yeah, highlighting those incompetencies there within the system, and I hope, I think it's Flo. Yes, it's Flo. I hope Flo is hearing and seeing what is happening, and will take steps to make the process more customer friendly, and make the process less frustrating for customers. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we will continue taking your calls.
Decorate and redecorate your space with water-resistant, colorful, and fast-drying paints from Edgechem Paints. The time by Edgechem Paints, changing lives 1 gallon at a time, is...
It's 9:18.
New KFC saucy wings. Attention all wings lovers. KFC saucy wings with 2 new flavors. Mango habanero and buffalo. Hot, spicy. KFC we have saucy wings. Delicious, spicy, the best. So a new KFC saucy wings crush the rest. Nobody does wings like KFC. New saucy wings is for me.
New KFC saucy wings, delicious, hot, and spicy wings tossed in savory mango habanero or buffalo sauce. Wings that will crunch the rest. New KFC saucy wings, it's finger licking good.
In this uncertain U.S. immigration climate, you need expert guidance you can trust. The Consular Queen LLC handles visas, waivers, petitions, and more, making immigration stress-free. Don't navigate the process alone. Get professional support today. Call 470-593-8448 now. That's 470-593-8448. The Consular Queen. Unite families, change lives. 470-593-8448. Secure your future today.
At Kia, driving your future means joining the movement that inspires. Whether it's the small but mighty Picanto hatchback or the top-of-the-line tech-rich Sorrento SUV, there's a Kia that perfectly fits your lifestyle and your budget. ATL Automotive has gotten Jamaicans behind the wheels of thousands of Kias for the past 7 years. And we're ready to get you behind the wheel of a Kia too. Simply visit the nearest Kia showroom for a test drive now.
New KFC saucy wings. Attention all wings lovers. KFC saucy wings with 2 new flavors. Saucy wings. Mango habanero and buffalo. Hot, spicy. KFC we have saucy wings. Delicious, spicy, the best. So a new KFC saucy wings crush the rest. Nobody does wings like KFC. New saucy wings is for me.
New KFC saucy wings. Delicious, hot, and spicy wings tossed in savory mango habanero or buffalo sauce. Wings that will crunch the rest. New KFC saucy wings. It's finger licking good.
Good morning, good morning. You're back here inside the Consumer Hour on Nationwide 90 FM. Just came back to let you know that the next thing you will hear is Inside Customs, and we will be back with your calls after Inside Customs.
Welcome to Inside Customs, brought to you by the Jamaica Customs Agency, country above self.
Welcome to Inside Customs, a product of Nationwide 90 FM in collaboration with the Jamaica Customs Agency, JCA. They are the primary revenue collectors on behalf of the government, and their business is your business. It's together our business. This morning on Inside Customs, I'm speaking with Javar Smith. He's the director of the J-Swift branch at the Jamaica Customs Agency. I'm sure you would have heard about J-Swift in the news several times. This is just to reinforce what you do know, and if you haven't heard of J-Swift, this is a good chance for you to learn about what J-Swift does and how it supports the work of the Jamaica Customs Agency. Javar, welcome to Nationwide 90 FM.
Well, thank you for having me.
Excellent. All right, so what J-Swift is, what is it? Briefly, just give me an idea. Well, explain to the audience what J-Swift is.
All right, so J-Swift is a government platform that was conceived out of a trade facilitation agreement, right? It is a platform that allows importers, exporters to apply for the necessary licenses, permits, certificates, trade-related documents required for whether it is the import or the export of various commodities.
Mm-hmm. So the acronym J-Swift, broken out, what does it mean?
So it stands for the Jamaica Single Window for Trade.
Jamaica Single Window for Trade. So that's where they get J-Swift from. It's a good one, because sometimes you hear some acronyms I really don't connect to know what J-Swift does. All right. How does J-Swift work?
All right. So as I mentioned, J-Swift is an electronic platform. And behind the scenes, there are a lot of moving parts, right? It is I'm going to get a little technical.
Yeah, man, no problem, man. We work it out.
So it is a 3-tier technology application, right? You have the web component, which our users, whether you're a trader applying for permits or assessor or an officer within the government entities processing these applications, right? You have that web component that persons would interface with. You have the middleware component where the business logic, the rules, the conditions for the various processes are executed. And you have the data component or the database component where all this information is stored, right? So there are a lot of moving parts. There are integrations with other government services, whether it is for identity validation, company validation, etc. So all these services put together to form that electronic platform that our users interact with on a daily basis.
All right. So how we do inside customs, you would know, is that we provide the information in a way so that if someone is listening for the first time, they can understand clearly what we're saying. So within what you said, who drives J-Swift?
All right. So when the initiative was conceived, Jamaica Customs Agency was tasked with executing the implementation of them. Right? So initially it would have been a project, and the respective resources were recruited, technology was purchased. So essentially, it is driven by the respective stakeholders, either at the Jamaica Customs Agency or the various border regulatory agencies that provide a service through the platform, and as well as the regular users. Regular users.
All right, so you spoke about the 3 tiers and the primary web interface that the user, whether it's a trader, exporter, interfaces with, fine. But beyond all that, what are the various sections or subunits units under J-Swift, if any?
All right. So within the branch itself now, there are various subunits. It's broken out into technical and functional responsibilities or roles. So on the technical side, you have your systems administrators, your network administrators, your database administrators. Those persons keep the platform available, running, and available for users to access the respective services, right? Now, on the technical side as well, you have our quality assurance subunit. They are responsible now for the testing of the software that is developed by our developers, our software developers, Java developers, who also form a part of the technical team. Now, on the functional side, you now have the business analysts who are responsible now for going into the respective BRAs, looking at
by BRAs you mean?
Border Regulator Agencies, right? So these are that is a team now that goes into the respective border regulator agencies now to look at the existing processes and do the re-engineering. At the end of that re-engineering process, a requirements specification document is produced, and that now the developers now would take to build out the software that users would interact with.
Right. So, continue.
Right. As well as on the functional side now, you also have our training and implementation specialists. Now, they play a key role, and it is pretty much their responsibility now to train all users of the platform, whether it is how to apply for a license, how to apply for a permit, how to process this application, how to do a query, how to make a payment, etc., etc. Right? Now, a key part of the team as well is the accounting services. Now, they are responsible now for the reconciliation of the respective transactions. And currently to date, there are 13 government entities on the platform, and funds that are collected for transactions are now remitted to these respective government agencies at specific intervals. So the accounting team handles all that reconciliation and those accounting matters to deal with the collections of the funds and remittance.
All right, so it's quite vast.
Yes,
but not overly complicated in terms of what it delivers at the end point. So how do all of these teams come together, Javar, to drive this J-Swift engine?
All right, so a project of this magnitude, and it being an IT service or an IT system, you need persons from all these areas to cover the various roles, responsibilities in terms of achieving an implementation like J-Swift, right? Now, during the respective engagements, persons from various sub-teams now would work together, whether it is now meeting with stakeholders, collaborating in terms of to execute like re-engineering activities, the building of solutions, etc. So pretty much we're a cohesive unit that works together to build out the services that are available through J-Swift.
Is there a J-Swift app?
All right. So currently, the technology that the portal was built on, it allows for flexibility where it can be accessed from desktop computers, a mobile phone, etc. Right? However, in the pipeline, there are plans for a mobile app. But based on the fact that the platform is accessible from several different devices, it's not really high on the priority list, but it is in the pipeline.
Right. And given the range of issues that users would have pointed to, which perhaps made the J-Swift interface challenging since inception to now, what are some of the major things, maybe one or two, that you would have ironed out or removed to make the experience that much much smoother for the end user?
Right. So a part of the re-engineering that was done by the functional team was to simplify existing processes, right? Now, in Jamaica, you will have certain trade-related processes that may require the participation from 4 government entities, for example, right? A part of that re-engineering looks at the fact if it is really necessary to have 4 government entities providing a service, right? Okay, fine. It is critical that there are 4 entities providing this service. All right. What then happens now? They look at the process on the whole. They look at the requirements, right? And one of the key functions is to simplify the process, identify all the requirements, right? Ensure that our users submit their documents only once, pay once, and then they can follow up or check on those applications now through the platform, irrespective of how many entities are involved. So the platform allows for collaboration between the various government entities providing the service.
Right. Give me an idea. Because of course I'm not exporting anything or importing anything major,
Right.
so I would interact. But here's the thing:
Right.
when people interface with JSwift and interact over time, because they're in the business of export-import,
Right.
is there any portion of the data that they input into JSwift that is kept by JSwift? Meaning that, I mean, if I'm importing TVs this time, stoves next time, fridge, I have to put in the different documents for the different items, different quantities, and the tracking information. But is there certain information about me that JSwift keeps? So I log in, it knows it's me, I have a record of transactions. Does it facilitate that, and does that help the user experience at the end?
All right, so that's a very good question. All right, so as a part of the onboarding, you complete an initial registration. So you do an individual account registration. After that, you would associate yourself with your company. So whether you're the director, etc., you associate yourself with your company. The verification checks are done to confirm that you are who you are and you are associated with said company. This information is retained, right? Now, depending on the commodity that you'll apply for, it may require a prerequisite license, or it may be a commodity that doesn't require a license, right? You simply go onto the platform, you select new, whether it is a permit, all that information that you would have keyed in as a part of the registration, meaning your name, entity, address, etc., that is already preset in the application. So you basically just select the service that you wish to use. You enter, so say for example, you're importing a motor vehicle. You would select that you're an individual importing a motor vehicle, right? You new motor vehicle permit, enter the details for the vehicle, attach the supporting documents, whether it is the invoice, the title, etc. Right? The necessary rules, conditions are checked. The fees would be displayed. You make a payment. You receive an application reference, and you now wait for the respective government entity now to process this application. If along the way of processing, additional information is requested is required by the BRA to facilitate the processing through the same portal, that BRA now can send you a message, hey, can you provide these additional details? You can respond and you can submit, and the processing continues.
Excellent.
Right.
Just like that. Javar
Just like
Smith,
that.
Director of the JSwift branch at the Jamaica Customs Agency, JCA. Thank you for your time this morning.
And thank you for having me.
Excellent. That was Inside Customs.
That was Inside Customs, brought to you by the Jamaica Customs Agency, country above self.
Spectrum Insurance Brokers provides quality insurance coverage and risk management services. The time by Spectrum Insurance Brokers Limited, setting the industry standards, is
9:33.
You ever get bun yet? The bun was sweet so much you can't resist. Me not talk about heartbreak. Me not talk about the bun with full of spice, raisin, and the perfect glaze. Mother's Bakery Easter bun. This is the bun where everybody need this Easter. If you don't get bun, you not live life right. Mother's Bakery Easter bun. Get the best type of bun from the right people. Mother's Bakery Easter bun. The bun you have to get with love in every bite. Available in select supermarkets.
I saw something suspicious at work the other day and decided to speak out. I was afraid at first, but did it because corruption must stop. They never too liked the idea and even threatened to fire me. But I believe it's my duty to speak out against these things. Be a whistleblower and help eliminate corruption. Call the Integrity Commission at 876-968-6227 or email cpd@integrity.gov.jm.
A message from the Integrity Commission, United Against Corruption.
A mother's journey of love shared from generation to generation. Give her the ultimate relaxation and escape to Adam and Eve Day Spa and Salon for a mommy-made new experience this Mother's Day, Sunday, May 11. Book now at www.adamandeve.dayspaja.com. Purchase gift certificates or call 876-754-6017. Get mom the perfect gift of love. This Mother's Day, let Team Adam and Eve Take her on a spa journey. She deserves it.
New KFC saucy wings. Attention all wings lovers. KFC saucy wings with 2 new flavors. Saucy wings. Mango habanero and buffalo. Hot, spicy. KFC we have saucy wings. Delicious, spicy, the best. So a new KFC saucy wings crush the rest. Nobody does wings like KFC. New saucy wings is for me.
New KFC saucy wings, delicious hot and spicy wings tossed in savory mango habanero or buffalo sauce. Wings that will crunch the rest. New KFC saucy wings, it's finger licking good.
Good morning, good morning. You're back here inside the Consumer Hour on Nationwide 90 FM. I am Nora Gay Banton, and we're taking your calls this morning inside the Consumer Hour. If you have any consumer-related matters, you can give us a call. Let me give you the numbers again, 876-630-9371, and that goes up to 4. And there's also our Digicel line, which is 618-8255. We have Patrick on the phone line. Good morning, Patrick.
Morning, Nora. Congratulations on your great program.
Thank you so much.
You're my first line of defense.
Is that so?
I live in East Rural St. Andrews.
Okay.
But I'm bitterly upset by the condition of the road between Chandos Place, that's Papine, and Skyline Drive and up to Dam Head.
All right.
I mean, it's a disaster waiting to happen because the taxis swing into the opposite lanes without mercy, without conscience, and it's just a whole lot of pitted road between Papine and Dam Head. The front end of my, I would say my front end, but the front end of my vehicle has been damaged, and I dare not fix it because if the road remains in that condition, it makes no sense.
Yeah.
Now I'm not sure whether it's a constituency of Mrs. Mrs. Holness or Mrs. Williams. I suspect it's Mrs. Williams' constituency. And I don't know who the councillor is or anybody, but it just is a pain for all the motorists between Irish Town, Newcastle, Gordon Town, Mavis Bank, all of us coming down, commuting daily. It is terrible. Between Dam Head in particular, that's the road almost going off to Newcastle, just at that spot, and Chandos Place.
So when we get so close to the borders, I can't identify the MP so quickly. Maybe Clifford George would be able to quickly say it, but I am not sure when you get so close, because I hear you mentioning close to where did you say just now again?
Dam Head,
Newcastle.
Right. Well, people commuting from Newcastle, Irish Town.
Right. So I think some of those areas may be in the constituency of Mrs. Holness.
Yes,
MP Holness. So it may be across 2 constituencies. I'm not sure. But for Mrs. Holness, MP Juliet Holness, and MP Favour Williams, you said what's the area? Chandler Place.
Chandos, I think it's called, between that's Papine Square. As you turn the corner, coming up from there onwards to Skyline Drive and beyond Skyline
to Dam
Drive
Head.
To Dam Head.
Okay.
That stretch is just atrocious. It's more than washboard. It's pitted. It's rotted. People have to be bobbing and weaving, playing hopscotch. I mean, and the taxis, as you can imagine, drive on your side and have no compunction about it, so that it's an accident waiting to happen.
Yeah, so let me assist you to get the call out there. MPs Juliet Holness and Favour Williams. I'm not sure which of you, or maybe both of you, responsible for the Papine Square area going up to Skyline Drive all the way up to Dam Head. We have Patrick on the line telling us that these areas are the roads in these areas are horrible, and he's asking for your assistance or some indication as to when these areas will be fixed. Clearly at this point there's no evidence of that, so that's why he's calling. So MP Juliet Holness and MP Favour Williams, Papine Square to Skyline Drive to Dam Head. Not sure if it's one or both of you. If you can offer some assistance to the constituents in those areas. I must say there's evidence of road work across the country, so it may be coming up soon. But in case it's not, I'm helping you to remind the MPs of those areas. Patrick, thank you so much for calling.
Thank you so much.
No problem. And while I'm on roadworks, before I go to the next caller, Miriam Road, where I mentioned last week that the area they cut out the potholes, when we said them square them up, that there would be repairs soon, and I implored the road fixing authorities, as I call them, not to let that one stay for too long. Well, it didn't stay for very long, because I believe the very next day the road was fixed, and so Miriam Road is now better to drive on. We don't have to be swerving into the other lane or waiting for the traffic to pass to go around. It's in better condition now. So thank you to the road fixing authorities for Miriam Road, in I think that's MP Julian Robinson's constituency. It is in better condition now. So big up for that. And I'm so happy that it didn't stay that way for too long. But the one on Mountain View, it's still there. And Windward Road. You see, after you pass, where should I say now? It gets worse as you go along, But you see, after you pass, let me say, as soon as you touch the first wall for Bellevue, yeah, man, that stretch there right along, you pass Camperdown, you pass Vauxhall and go down, man. Yeah, man. Yeah. The taxi men, they know there well, so they know where to swerve and swing. But you see the other people, them don't know. And the road is horrible. So, Sir Paul, I ask you, if you can just collaborate with the NWA and those who are responsible in that area, and see how best you can do Windward Road. And Sir Paul, remember the next half of Langston Road. Because I understand now that the road is cut between two constituencies. And the part when I fix, upper your part, Sir Paul, and the councillor, and all the people who can come together to make it happen. Please. I feel like the next part, the part where fix are going to mash up again and meet back. The part when I fix. I don't want that to happen. Please, I beg, the next half of Langston Road. Thank you very much, sir. We would greatly appreciate it. All right, we are up on the break. Let's take another break. When we come back, we will continue taking your calls.
Fill all
your prescriptions, get cosmetics and other pharmaceutical items at Mannings Hill Pharmacy, located at 34A Mannings Hill Road, Kingston. Telephone 924-6280. At Mannings Hill Pharmacy, they stock all the hard-to-get medication. The time by Mannings Hill Pharmacy is
9:45.
New KFC saucy wings. Attention all wings lovers. KFC saucy wings with 2 new flavors. Saucy wings. Mango habanero and buffalo. Hot, spicy. KFC we have saucy wings. Delicious, spicy, the best. So a new KFC saucy wings crush the rest. Nobody does wings like KFC. New saucy wings is for me.
New KFC saucy wings, delicious, hot, and spicy wings tossed in savory mango habanero or buffalo sauce. Wings that will crunch the rest. New KFC saucy wings, it's finger licking good.
A mother's journey of love shared from generation to generation. Give her the ultimate relaxation and escape to Adam and Eve Day Spa and Salon for a mommy-made new experience this Mother's Day, Sunday, May 11. Book now at www.adamandeve.dayspaja.com. Purchase gift certificates or call 876-754-6017. Get mom the perfect gift of love. This Mother's Day, let Team Adam and Eve take her on a spa journey. She deserves it.
Big news! The Big Bite Food Safety Show now airs on Nationwide 90 FM with your host, Alison Richards, the Food Safety Girl. Join Alison every Tuesday from 1 to 2 p.m. as she serves up expert advice, tips, and insights on everything food safety. Stay informed, stay vigilant, and remember, food safety is everybody's business. Don't miss a bite of the action. Tuesdays at 1 p.m. only on Nationwide 90 FM, the new revolution in media. Join us on the next episode for Street Food Chronicles. Are you being jerked over?
Good morning. You're back here inside the Consumer Hour on Nationwide 90 FM. I am Nora Gay Banton and we're taking your calls. We're going to go back to the phone lines now. Mr. White, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Nora.
Good morning. How are you this morning?
Not too bad enough.
All right.
Trying to get safe yesterday, but I finally get you today.
All right.
You're calling about the gentleman I called from St. Mary's City Central about the Sparks program work that they're doing in Pecan Valley.
Mm-hmm.
There are some things I would like to know. Is it when the Sparks program going on, the MP have a chance to put who they want to put on the road to work?
I don't know. I don't know the specifics of those who would be doing the work. But as far as I'm aware, these persons who should be on the work are contracted to do the road work through the government. I'm assuming with the NWA as well, or whoever is responsible at that part to fix the road. And I'm assuming that there are other laborers who would be hired for temporary work on the area, and maybe the MP would have a saying some of those persons who are on the road. I don't know. I can't say for sure.
When I say these things, I've seen Harmony Hall Road. There's another road there, Harmony Hall Road.
Harmony Hall Road?
Yes,
Yes.
some time ago.
Mhm.
So they rehabilitated some time ago.
Right.
This contractor named Bill Wright or Dill Wright. I realize how they work.
Mm-hmm.
They don't fix culvert, they don't fix drain, they don't check pipe. They just come in and then rip up and then just doing them thing, and before nobody can talk to nobody because nobody you don't have nobody we can reason with our talk with. Everybody's just one ignorant set of people. Tell you about your mama if you say to them a pipe did it, so you have to curve wall. Right now if you look on that road, it's like a waste of money done the last time on that road. Where the road supposed to go, I go to the meet now where they said the road would have started, not start. Where it's supposed to stop, it not stop. The road just the road now one disarray now. People can't even come out of the yard where them build some part of the road. Some part of the road so high you can't come out of the yard because like the valley land. Or you see them block off some culvert, run water too. So So where the color water would have normally break the speed, then run it extra down the road, and just one discovery. And if you look on that road we done 5 years ago.
So
And
you're
that road
saying
one
that
over
persons who are contracted, well, it's that wouldn't be under the Spark program because that was
That's
done.
what I'm saying.
Right.
These are the set of people and we are using to do the same thing. And nobody a take no talk and nobody now listen to the people man say nothing. The gentleman is right at what he's saying yesterday. Nobody come and hold a meeting. And that's the same kind of
No man. There were consultations done in every constituency.
Well, that's what I'm hearing say.
No man. Every constituency had Spark consultation with the different stakeholders, and I remember when they were, as I saw them being advertised, I usually spoke about them and said the dates and the time and the locations. So every constituency should have had Spark consultation.
Yes, it should have, but I don't
No man, if there's one that didn't, maybe you weren't aware of it.
No man, I wasn't aware of it because I'm living down the bottom. I'm not living on the top up there.
Well, all constituents should have done enough to ensure that some sort of advertising went out to most areas where it could reach everybody, and so everybody should know. But consultations should have been done.
Here, I don't even know if they make go on. I see they put up some posters and things that they will have a national we call it meeting between the NWA, the police, the parish council, everybody.
Maybe that was a Spark consultation meeting.
I don't even know if it go on because they said it cancelled. The 27th of March they said it's supposed to go on.
Mm-hmm. Well, this year.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
Maybe that wasn't.
And I heard that it cancelled. That is in our area at the Mary's High School.
Mm-hmm.
And I understand. I think it was cancelled. But the way these people go about fixing road, the way they go about, it's like waste of money.
Yeah, and I understand your concern. Your concern is that those who are contracted to fix the roads, they're not doing it properly, and there's nowhere you can go to say this is not being done properly. Because nobody not take no talk. That's your concern.
Nobody not take no talk.
Yeah. So to the Minister of Works, to the NWA, to the MPs, to the councillors, you must ensure, and I did hear the Minister of Works, Robert Morgan, saying that under the Spark program, at least I know it's under the Spark program, not sure about any other road fixing program, that there will be a mechanism in place for accountability. So if before the allotted time, the roads start mash up back, the contractors are responsible to do repairs at no cost because that should have been done properly. And so that I know is a part of the Spark program. I'm not sure about any other road work program. But I did hear the minister say, and I believe that every other road fixing program that's coming from now on should have that clause in place.
Right.
Should have that clause in place.
All
yes.
Right. Let me just give you the next
quickly, because we have another caller waiting.
Is every MP get the same treatment whether they want to be on the Labour side or the PMP side once they're in Parliament to fix the road?
Yes, it's usually equal. It's usually as equal as it should be.
That we have so much central road like Esho, Chumosworth, Hopewell. Why is it that we have so many bad roads then there and the MP is resigning and we not get it, and this is the only thing I see come true?
Well, I can't speak. Well, once again, I understand that you're just sharing your concerns. I don't know, and this is why it is important for MPs to be accessible so that when constituencies see these things, they should know when your MP's constituency office hours are. You should be able to ask a question of your MP. I don't know. Some of them are very accessible through WhatsApp. Some of them you can call them and get them. I don't know for your MP if that's the case. But this is why members of parliament should be accessible to your constituents because they are the ones who elected you and you are there to serve them. So if you a constituent sees something that is not going right, you should be able to know that you can go to your MP's office on a Thursday at 2:00 and you would be able to join a queue or put down your name for a date where you can go back and see him or her. This is how it should be working.
Don't get money for 15 to 20 minutes.
Every time I hear, as far as I'm aware, every time I hear road work announced and money announced for road work, it's usually shared equally or as equally as possible, because sometimes there are constituencies that, well, not sometimes, there are constituencies that are larger than others. So
yes.
So the money is allotted as equally as it can be. Well, I have you ever tried to speak to your MP directly?
Miss, I hardly see that man.
That's not my question, Hold on there.
Miss, I spoke to him in a meeting.
Okay.
I spoke to him in the meeting with the road that they were fixing first at Harmonial.
Mm-hmm.
And as I said, a person that I know well.
Okay.
I'm no beef against the gentleman, but we're just saying that the level of representation of work. We're not talking about people give somebody one sweetie. You won't get a sweetie, but other people are suffering the consequence of everything around.
Fair.
Right?
Fair.
I not believe in other party. You can give a person a handout. Nothing wrong on a sweetie, nothing wrong. But majority of what you're doing show for everybody to enjoy.
And that's fair.
We are paying the taxes.
That is fair.
And I am not looking at handout from a politician. I have to beg a politician a handout.
All right.
Because
That's
I'm always out there doing my thing.
Yeah. Understood.
So
and that's fair. That's a fair assessment. But we're trying to get to the other caller. All right? Sorry about that.
Thanks.
Yeah, man. AV, good morning.
Morning, Noah. How you doing?
I'm all right. How are you?
I'm working I'm actually in the US. I'm at the job. I'm in the bathroom. I'm high staff.
Okay.
Anyway, I've been trying to get Mr. Hughes from the other day regarding the education conference in Uchi as well about the place. And I like the ideas from the ministry point of view and with heart and whatever is going on in the country, because whatever is going on in Jamaica right now, when I was there, it was atrocious. When I come back home right now, based on what I want. Anyway, I like the idea that it was an education conference the other day, but until we can take back some of the things from the kids them, the authority with the people them have, and the authority with the parents have, where them can go in a school and go bust up teacher head, or cause up teacher, the parents can come tell us, boy, make the people stay, make him learn when he want to learn, that kind of thing not going to work, and they not going to achieve nothing with all these good ideas if the parents have so much power and the children don't have so much power. Anyway, that's always my concern.
All right.
Because I listen the program every day. I actually work in one bank as a security.
Okay.
So, I come, you think I'm listening to the program every day. You keep my company. Tell Mr. Hughes, I miss him the other day when he go and babysit and I do the PNP manifesto. But
do what? What kind of accusations are those?
I saw me one of the
YouTubers in the comments say,
Papa Nana.
All right.
So the guy who's going to babysit, I'm going to help write the PNP manifesto.
All right, yeah, man. Thank you for your support, AV. Take care.
We love him, yeah?
All right.
Cool.
Bye. Cliff, I don't know. Were you working on the PNP manifesto or babysitting? Which one was it? Boy, you YouTubers, them nationwide listeners and all the easy at all. But that's where we're going to have to leave it for the Consumer Hour this morning. We are going to make way now for Cliff Hughes Online.
That was the Consumer Hour with Nora Gay Banton.
Big news! The Big Bite Food Safety Show now airs on Nationwide 90 FM with your host, Alison Richards, the Food Safety Girl. Join Alison every Tuesday from 1 to 2 p.m. as she serves up expert advice, tips, and insights on everything food safety. Stay informed, stay vigilant, and remember, food safety is everybody's business. Don't miss a bite of the action. Tuesdays at 1 p.m. only on Nationwide 90 FM, the new revolution in media. Join us on the next episode for Street Food Chronicles. Are you being jerked over?
Nationwide 90 FM, continuing the tradition of fair, fearless, and factual reporting.
The Universal Service Fund is helping Jamaicans stay connected with free Wi-Fi spots across the island. Visit usf.gov.jm to find a location near you. The time by the Universal Service Fund, bridging the information gap. Internet access for everyone is
10 o'clock.
Cliff Hughes Online. Talk radio for all Jamaicans.
My hands were steady. My eyes were clear and bright. My walk had purpose, my steps were quick and light, and I held firmly to what I felt was right, like a rock, like a rock. I was strong as I could be, like a rock. Nothing ever got to me, like a rock. I was something to see, like a rock. And I stood arrow straight, unencumbered by the weight of all these hustlers and their schemes. I stood proud, I stood tall, high above it all. I still believed in my dreams.
Our phone numbers are 630-9371, 630-9372, 630-9373, 630-9374, and 618-8255. Or find us on Facebook at Nationwide News Network and follow us on Twitter at Cliff Nationwide. You can also listen to Cliff Hughes Online live on the World Wide Web at nationwideradiojm.com or via the Nationwide 90 FM app on your mobile phone. Now, here's your host, Cliff Hughes.
Good morning. Good morning. Let's get to work.
Cliff says, what's on his mind? Unfiltered analysis and commentary.
My hands were steady, my eyes were clear and bright. My walk had purpose, my steps were quick and light. And I held firm to what I felt was right, like a rock, like a rock. I was strong as I could be, like a rock. Nothing ever got to me, like a rock. I was something to see, like a rock. And I stood arrow straight, unencumbered by the weight of all these hustlers and their schemes. I stood proud, I stood tall, high above it all. I still believed in my dreams.
Morning once again. What a morning. Kamla, 1 in Trinidad and Tobago. Mark in Canada. Donald is into his first 100 days of his second coming. And all on social media this morning, a terrible incident, murder, a so-called TikToker being shot and killed live while doing his thing. What a morning. There's a lot to talk about. The Observer leads this morning with blue versus black. Yeah, blue versus black. JFJ's planned protest against police today sparks call for pro-constabulary expression. We're going to have JFJ's Executive Director, Michael Jackson, and Government Senator Marlon Morgan with us at 11 to debate that issue, blue versus black. Yeah. The Gleaner leads this morning with a story out of the courthouse. Vloggers warned judge stresses reckless online commentary could trigger contempt charges, delay in Donaldson case. So much to talk about. Let's begin with the elections last evening in Trinidad and Tobago and in Canada. Yes? In the Twin Island Republic of Trinidad and Tobago this morning, there's a new Prime Minister-elect. She has a distinction now of being the only female Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago. But also she is adding to her political resume the fact that she won, lost, and has returned this morning as leader of the United National Congress, the UNC, and a loose group of coalition of interests. And they swept the elections yesterday in Trinidad and Tobago, 41 seats up for grab. And Kamla Persad Besesa's UNC won 26, according to the preliminary count. The main opposition now, People's National Movement, they were in government up until last night. They won 13, and a Tobago-based party, the TTP, won 2. So Kamla is firmly in control. Yeah? And her victory was decisive because it means we're the 25, 26. Yes? She is virtually untouchable. Untouchable. But Trinidad is a very competitive two-party democracy, as is ours. Yes? She first served as Prime Minister in 2010. That was what? 15 years ago. And she's back this morning as a 73-year-old. Yes? And declaring last night cheers from her supporters in yellow. Yellow is their color in Trinidad and Tobago's UNC. Yeah? That, you know, when the UNC wins, everybody wins.
UNC family and friends, I am very happy to join with you here at our party's headquarters. I ask you to join with me to first of all let us say thanks and praise to Almighty God. When God says yes, nobody can say no. I want to thank our coalition partners joined with us for us to secure this victory. So can we give them a round of applause? United Coalition of Interests. And of course, I thank all of you, rank and file members of the UNC who have stood with me through thick and thin, through light and through darkness. You have carried me on a journey that was filled with love, with determination and resilience. I started off this campaign by saying, you will be the real heroes in this story. And I end this campaign saying the same, you are the real heroes in this story of Trinidad and Tobago. All of you, I cannot single out one or two or three. There have been so many thousands of you working in your zones, working in your sections. Today was really a great display of cooperation and of hard work where everyone stood in their zone and worked. Whether the seat was Superior, whether the seat was St. Joseph, whether it was Tunapuna, whichever seat it was, we had teams and teams of activists and people working every single seat. And so they did so well. All of you, thank you for showing up. Thank you for staying on the course and believing in our great party. Thank you, TNT. I say thank you for your support during this campaign. Thank you for your confidence for a better TNT. And for letting the world know that we, the people, have the real power in Trinidad and Tobago. This victory is for the senior citizens to keep their pensions. This victory is for public servants to get their rightful salary increases. This victory is to reopen the Children's Hospital. This victory is to reopen Petrotrin. This victory is to once again give laptops to our children. This victory is to create over 50,000 jobs. And so, the victory is yours. Now that the UNC has won, everybody wins.
Kamla Prasad Bisesa in her moment of glory last night in Chaguanas at her UNC party's headquarters. It's her second coming as Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, and we're going to get some analysis a little later as to what led to her UNC defeating Keith Rowley's and Stuart Young's People's National Movement. I was speaking with a couple of my friends in Trinidad and Tobago, and they were telling me the PNM was a mess. They weren't ready, and Kamla struck the right note. She promised a lot, and she hit a chord with the people of Trinidad and Tobago, ensuring that she won, and she won decisively. In Canada at the same time, yesterday, April 28, 2025, a significant day, because in Canada, in what is being dubbed as one of its most consequential general elections, a central banker, a man who has the distinction of being the former governor of the Bank of Canada and the Bank of England, a non-politician, he wasn't a politician, he's really an investment banker who cut his teeth at Goldman Sachs. Yes, he won in Canada last night, leading the Liberal Party to victory. And an unlikely victory it was. Up to November last year, under the former leader of the Liberal Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, they were about to die politically. And then came along a man by the name of DJT, Donald John Trump. Yes, and Trump upended the political dynamics in Canada. The Conservative Party, led by Pierre Poilievre in Canada, were set to beat Trudeau. Yes, he was speaking and behaving like Trump, and he was running away with the elections in Canada. And then Trump came and said, I want Canada. I want Canada to be the 51st state of the great United States of America. And that powered a complete shift in the political dynamics in Canada and upended the race. And last night, he handed his intervention, the elections to the Liberals and Prime Minister Mark Carney. Carney is not likely to win an outright majority. It is still touch and go. whether he'll get an outright majority of 172 seats in the 344-seat federal parliament. I think they're at about 164 or 165. But there's no doubt the Liberals won thanks to Trump and Carney. Yeah? And today marks 100 days since Trump has been in the White House. And that is being closely watched because all the polls are indicating that, the American people are going sour on Donald after 100 days. But there are so many things happening. Yeah? So many different moving parts. For example, a lot of you now shop online. And the biggest store online now is Amazon. Right? And they're more than a store, if you know what I mean. And Amazon just dropped something this morning that, listen, every time you make a purchase on Amazon, they're going to tell you that through a label on your product how much it would cost, how much that product would cost if they didn't have to pay Trump's tariff. You understand what I'm saying? So if you buy a phone, they will tell you, okay, without Trump's tariff, the phone would cost you $500 US. With Trump's tariff, it's going to cost you $550 US. So every purchaser will now know how much Trump is costing him or her. And Trump is not pleased by that. Trump says it's a hostile political act. So he's going to respond. He's going to respond. Amazon is owned by Mr. Bezos, one of the billionaire friends of Mr. Trump who was at his inauguration. Yeah? And they became quite good friends. Bezos and Trump had fallen out before, over the Washington Post. Bezos is the owner of the Washington Post newspaper. So they've had a turbulent relationship. And now Mr. Bezos is now saying, I'm protecting my business. Every time you buy anything from Amazon, they're going to tell you how much it costs because of Trump's tariff. A lot to chew on. Time for the break.
My hands were steady, my eyes were clear and bright. My walk had purpose, my steps were quick and light.
The Time brought to you by the Ministry of Science, Energy, Telecommunications and Transport. Fueling growth everywhere is
18 minutes after 10.
Commercial spaces for you. Parks and attractions for you. Housing and residential developments for you. Beautiful rental properties for you. Improving quality of life through infrastructure development across Jamaica for you. The Urban Development Corporation, making development happen for you. Brought to you by the Urban Development Corporation.
UDC for you.
Every day, we use our feet to walk, run, and take us to amazing places. But your feet can do something even more amazing. A simple step can change a life. Join Guardian Group's Shine 5K Night Run, formerly the Keep It Alive 5K, and make us try to support the Noel Holmes Hospital, the Bustamante Hospital for Children, and Project Star. Saturday, May 10 in Kingston and Saturday, May 24 in Montego Bay. New name, but same epic vibe. Register today at run2shineja.com or runningeventsja.com and see you at Shine 2025.
Taxi drivers, are you ready to earn more? Join Amber on Time and keep 100% of your fares in the first month. No commission, no catch. Plus, in your second month, we'll install a free vehicle tracker to help keep you and your car safe. Stolen vehicle recovery and panic button response are also on us. And guess what? On May 3rd and 4th, come to 13 Haining Road. Snacks and drinks are on us. Come link up, ask questions, sign up on the spot, and level up with Amber On Time, Jamaica's taxi app built just for you.
Plug into the sun with Peak Energy Solutions. We are your affordable provider for everything solar. Grid tie or off-grid solar P systems, solar air conditioners, panels, lithium batteries, solar supplies, and installation. Visit us at Shop 1, 3 Mosquito Valley Road, Red Hills, St. Andrew. Call 876-279-8820 or 944-0668. Or email us at peakenergysolutionsja@gmail.com. Peak Energy for everything solar.
Cliff says, what's on his mind? Unfiltered analysis and commentary.
My hands were steady, my eyes were clear and bright.
All right, 20 minutes after 10 o'clock. I see online in my YouTube chat, yes, the YouTubers have decided that they are all going to be, or most of them, are going to be displaying the sign of love, heart, in blue. In blue. Yes? A whole heap of blue on my YouTube platform this morning. And clearly, they say they are blue this morning because they're supporting the constabulary force based on the highly publicized demonstration set for today by Jamaicans for Justice JFJ against the increase in police killings in the country since the start of the year. I addressed this earlier, last week, this week, and it is the day when JFJ will be out there. And I can safely predict JFJ is not going to get any big support. Yeah? JFJ is not going to get any big turnout. But certainly the discussion that has been triggered by this is important. And the Observer this morning, as I said, leads with this blue versus black. And it really ought not to be blue versus black. It should really be what's right for Jamaica. Yeah? And according to the Observer's treatment this morning, the police high command says it will deploy enough cops in halfway tree St. Andrew today as a planned protest against the constabulary by human rights group Jamaicans for Justice JFJ appears set to attract opposition from citizens who have been encouraged to show support for the police. The deployment of police personnel, quote, is a precautionary measure intended to ensure the safety of all participants and to preserve public order, especially in light of credible indications of possible counter-protests in the vicinity. End of quote. The High Command said in a statement while emphasizing that the JCF has no affiliation with any of the groups planning to protest. Well, it is going to be much ado about nothing, I tell you. Much ado about nothing. Yeah? A lot of heat and emotion more than anything else. Seen it all before. Yeah. So I see all of you here in the YouTube chat. Kevin Thomas, Blue Face 007, Smart Thinker, Marlene Williams. Yes, all decked out in their blue. Otis Blessings, yeah, Marva Thomas, Everton Chambers, Lyndon Ingram, Petrona Smith. I don't see no black. That tells you where the popular sentiments are. Yeah? JFJ is not going to get him much support. Oh, Shane Mark. I do see some black now. Shane Mark, yes, posts some black, but Shane, are you alone? Oh dear. Ah dear. Shane put up his black, yes, and they're going to attack him. Yes? I hear you and I see you, Shane. Yeah? Primrose is all blue. Pro Gamer Dude is blue. Yeah? Andy Ramon is blue. Yeah? They're all here. All right. So much for that. The other issue this morning, the St. Andrew North Police are investigating the execution-style killing of a man who was shot dead during a social media live stream. The man has been identified as a Jabari Johnson. Jabari Johnson. And based on the video I've seen, and there it is, if you are with us on our YouTube channel, you'll see Jabari doing his live stream on social media. And of course, he's there encouraging his viewers. He didn't have on any top, shirtless. And of course, we're not going to show the actual moment when the gunman wearing a hood came up behind him, close range, and pulled the trigger. And he not only pulled the trigger once, but he shot Johnson several times after he fell to the ground. Yes? Johnson had no chance of surviving. And we understand this took place in the vicinity of Queenie's Snack Shop on Red Hills Road in St. Andrew. Yeah? The killer was dressed in black. Beg your pardon. The killer was dressed in black, and as I said, he wore a mask, and he opened the fire at close range, hitting Jabari Johnson several times in the head and the upper body. Yeah? And we have learned that Jabari Johnson is the son of a popular reggae artist, and Mr. Johnson is the fourth high-profile murder of a TikTok personality in recent months. Wow. Johnson's social media handle is known as One Baba Skeng. One Baba Skeng. Before Johnson was killed yesterday, 23-year-old Marlon Samuels, also known as 41 Bosshead, was shot and killed on TikTok Live in December last year in St. James. Also last December, Xavier Foga, more popularly known as Naya Gang, he was also killed while performing live on TikTok. That took place in Manchester. And then Keno Popsy Watson was shot and killed in September 2024 as well in Allman Town. He was also streaming live on TikTok. What's the motive? We don't know. We don't know for sure what is the motive. What is clear is that this is now a very dangerous pursuit. Yeah? For people to be on TikTok. It's very, very dangerous. No doubt about that. Yeah? All right. At 11 o'clock, it will be Michael Jackson and Marlon Morgan to talk with us about the issue of police killings and how we should respond in light of today's planned protests. All right? Time for the break. After the break, your calls.
My hands were steady, my eyes were clear and bright. My walk had purpose, my steps were quick and light, and I held firm.
Eclipse Enterprise is your go-to source for billiards, amusement machines, and electronics. Telephone 876-960-3891. The temperature by Eclipse Enterprise is...
It's 31 degrees Celsius in capital city Kingston. It's a little cooler in Montego Bay, where it's 28.
I saw you want to live. I walk and look over your shoulder. No sleep at night. I wonder if your family safe. Your mother, your brother, your sister, your youth them. And when you get catch, are you alone? But not there to help you. You have to talk for yourself a court. And then when you're gone behind the bars, them see you on their road. I live them life and I enjoy life. Gang violence don't make no sense. Leave gang violence alone. Let's work together and make Jamaica a safer and peaceful country. Let's all live good.
A message from the Ministry of National Security.
Equality. There is no reason why I can't do what men always do. Split everything evenly. Jobs, salary, benefits, you name it. Why should men be taking the lead?
Well, that's easy to say when all the talk about equality begins and ends with big jobs, positions, and money. You ever heard men running down equality? Nope. We live well alone and know the roles are separate. Some things are equal and some just ain't. But how much hypocrisy is really in this equality argument? Join me, Rodney Campbell, every Tuesday from 9 to 10:30 p.m. for Affairs of the Heart, right here on Nationwide 90 FM. This Tuesday's topic,
50-50 in everything is what we want.
Until here comes the bill. 50-50.
Affairs of the Heart is brought to you by Supermed Pharmacy. Super happy, super healthy, Supermed. The Ministry of Health and Wellness. Healthy people, healthy environment. Dewars. Here's to the story. And Durex. Distributed by Massey Distribution Limited, Jamaica.
Our phone numbers are 630-9371, 630-9372, 630-9373, 630-9374, and 618-8255.
My hands were steady, my eyes were clear and bright. My walk had purpose, my steps were quick and light, and I held firm to what I felt was right, like a rock, like a rock. I was strong as I could be, like a rock. Nothing ever got to me, like a rock.
27 minutes going up to 11. Good morning, Fox.
Morning, Daddy. Hughes.
Good morning, sir.
Yes, man. I look for your blue this morning. I'm ready to a trick way.
Why you want me wear blue?
Oh, you mean them?
Why you draw me in on a cascas?
What are the Daddy Hughes? Sensible Jamaican are supposed to wear blue today, Daddy Hughes.
Me don't know about sensible Jamaicans wearing blue today. I know there's a call for Jamaicans to wear blue or black.
Yeah, in
yes.
solidarity. In solidarity.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we are that you.
So
this
what?
man, you know,
So
this
me,
man,
hold on. You see the work me do?
yeah, yes.
Yeah. You want to draw me into that, right?
I'm not dry that you.
Our.
I feel sure say you have sense.
Oh. But you
I
know,
feel
say
sure
me,
say you have.
me sure say you know, say me have sense.
Of course I know that.
Exactly. That is why I'm now wearing a blue today. I'm now wearing a black. See there?
Right.
Me not have
Let me
a
tell you
no nothing blue nor black. See?
Yeah, but
Nothing
yeah,
blue nor black.
we were looking out for you.
Me
this
make
man.
sure say me neutral today.
Yes, so we don't know where you stand up then.
Oh, you mean me can turn up, of course, anytime.
Anyway, Daddy Hughes,
Oh,
you interview. Let me tell you something. You notice how the PNP is silent and this blue or black issue. This morning I will listen to a comrade. You interview him several times. I won't tell you who, but maybe somebody will send you the video. And this man was carrying on the most weird this morning. He have a program, you know, and he's saying that he stand with JFJ. And you know, be honest with you, I hear Marlon call him this morning, you know, and cut out Senator Marlon off of the program. Because he was saying something that Marlon said, but Marlon was trying to clarify it. And you see, this is what I don't like that you. If you is a man, you know, if you don't have the facts, you don't talk about certain things. And when Marlon called to tell him what he really said in that press release yesterday on your evening news, the man said he don't have the facts in front of him, but he was just using, in other words, common sense. But let me tell you something. The People's National Party that he used, they realize crime now keep again. So then they have got to go campaign on this man. Anyhow, crime was sky high through the roof. It should be a different story this morning.
True.
I can tell you that.
True.
I can tell you that.
That's true. That's true.
We are in the election mode that he used.
That is the political reality. Yes?
Yes.
If crime was continuing the way it was up to last year, it would continue to be a political beating stick.
Yes.
Yes? For the PNP.
I hear you say something yesterday, my brethren, that nobody calling them again right now. Me and the people out there take it for fun. And I true that. Yesterday, me hear you say, nobody no one calling them again that you. Because they know say the JCS is hand them heel.
Yes.
You listen to the Camlo Center and the Sunday, my brethren.
Me hear part of him. Wait a minute. Me hear
You
part of
should see
him.
what I...
Yes.
The man, Dayton Campbell go up and the podium and say, you know, everywhere me go, people are telling me, say, me to calm down and me to ease and talk properly than that. But everywhere me go, if a evil spirit rise up against me and me have to talk like how me talk. Imagine, and he no feel that no boy, no girl. Remember, it's a post at school him a come from. But little Dayton Campbell don't know that is the same statement put force away in there right now. Sensible Jamaican or how
Well, I didn't hear him, so I can't speak to. But I will say he must understand Dayton Campbell is no Portia similar.
Inside Portia school him a come from.
Well,
no boy, no girl, but then keep on saying.
He not get that at school in there.
Well,
and him better understand that he is absolutely no Portia Simpson Miller.
That he used. Then
yes.
Keep on and say some things about the Prime Minister and at the same time. Them a say they're not afraid of no boy, no girl. And the Prime Minister now go at them in my brethren. Last thing I go here now that he use card that people want to talk.
So hold on. So you wear, what are you wearing?
A full blue mean that he use me high on myself last week, man, for me about the protest.
Oh, you're in full blue?
Yes, man, me in a full blue, and when me come out on the street, a lot of people me see in a blue that he use. Some of them not dark like this still, but you know, when you see the little blue, you know what that means. We have stand up with the Jamaica Council before.
So you're going out to his transport center later?
No, me not the time me have children to take care of and a wife to go home to, so me not have the time.
Yeah, you're a responsible man.
Yes, so we don't have not really time for that. But as me say, you trick with this morning still. But
me?
Anyway, when sister Nora rearing daddy, you just look cross and say, when sister Nora rearing.
Nora, come show them what you wear. You soon see when Nora wear. Them walk on mix with
Grey, don't mistake this for blue now. It's grey and yellow. Yellow.
Right.
Or what
this is
grey.
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 Grey. Not blue or black.
When you walk on mix with up.
Alright, now go ahead. Give me 30 seconds, Daddy man.
Yes, go on.
Hughes.
Go on.
When Mr. Montague, Mr. Hughes.
In the Western St. Mary.
I will hand you Franklin, the Deputy General Secretary.
Me no know.
Well, I hear from Andre Franklin.
It's been a while, you know.
Last week, we talked to Senator
But you know,
Marlon
say Montague have a day in constituency now.
Yes, Daddy Hughes, but he might work out of it though.
Then in that, but the most important work you have in a Western St. Mary.
And let's only things just go by like that and left we out of the go in a state of confusion, my virgin.
Why you say that? Why you say that?
Daddy Hughes, we not have enough time, but we tell you already.
Mm-hmm.
Some things are going and some seats when a second we need to hear from the chairman.
Oh.
Mr. Chang have a lot to deal with already, we are security is concerned.
But Mr. Chang job and the leader's job for settle seats and the chairman job that.
But the chairman have talked, Mr. Hughes.
Yes, the chairman has always. But the matter of settling seats, that is for Dr. Chang and the leader primarily, not the chairman.
Some weird things that me out there say, me not expect the Prime Minister to get up and say anything, Of course, I said, attack our way out of politics. So me expect Andrew for us work behind the scene and make them bring the report to him and tell him what to do.
Uh-huh.
But we need to hear from Mr. Montague a long time. We don't hear him, Bridget.
So which seats now still have to settle? Delano up in and Samuda, where who is going to run? I hear is Delano. Delano going to get the seat.
Clarendon.
Clarendon. Who in Clarendon?
Mr. Chin going to Clarendon a year, but we don't hear nothing
concrete. Mr. Chin gone to Southwest Clarendon.
Yes, but we don't hear nothing concrete, my brother. I just whispers and.
But you know, really, that you know lose no time over that. You know, say that can't win.
You can't. Say no, Daddy Hughes.
Talk foolishness, man. You want to talk foolishness and fool yourself.
Daddy Hughes.
Yes.
Come, let us reason.
Yes.
Remember, a 30-year PNP of Portland with Hanma River there. And then every county task when they listen and win. Central Kingston is the next one. So come make a reason if you attack
Southwest Clarendon. Southwest Clarendon. Yes.
And Lisa Hannah seat.
And Lisa Hannah seat. Then you send Adian Peart over there so now?
That not fully confirmed yet, my virgin. That's why I tell you we want some party work, we want mind them Labour Party make time catch up on them, my virgin.
Time I catch up on them. Yeah, that you're right about. Time upon them.
I will need to see. I mean, I pressure the Prime Minister. Some MP are going on very good. My MP is well in our season.
Who that?
The boss lady.
Who that?
Miss Wallace, man.
Oh, you're in East Rural St. Andrew.
Yes, man.
Oh. How is it looking out there?
It's looking good, Mr. Yu, because last week the PNP then come up with 50 people meeting. My brother, now when you look, nobody no come and dance. They come like a social distance. And when me hear from the PNP friend, they say they never tell nobody. They not turn up on them.
Oh.
You understand?
So they were doing social distancing?
No, when I say social, they play empty, my brethren.
Then well, you have to keep your distance. Your distance.
You have to keep your distance, but Miss Wallace is working the ground.
Uh-huh.
And she's on top of things, Mr. Hughes, and we are working with her here, you know?
Okay.
As I say, by 8:30, 9 o'clock, you can count that off still.
You sure about that? Hey.
Me know, how you mean them now ground with the Mr. Hughes?
I hear you. I hear your facts.
Me use it nice to be here, yeah?
All right. And take care of yourself in your blue.
Call Mr. Franklin.
Uh-huh.
And Montague tell him them in support and they want
me not call Mr. Montague. Mr. Montague under pressure in a Western St. Mary. You have to try hold it.
He will disagree with you, you know.
He not disagree with me.
Nice to be here, Daddy Hughes.
All right. Cool. Well, I tell you. Time for the break.
My hands were steady. My eyes were clear and bright. My walk had purpose. My steps were quick and light.
New KFC saucy wings. Attention all wings lovers. KFC saucy wings with 2 new flavors. Saucy wings. Mango habanero and buffalo. Spicy. KFC we have saucy wings. Delicious. Spicy the best. So a new KFC saucy wings crush the rest. Nobody does wings like KFC. New saucy wings is for me.
New KFC saucy wings. Delicious, hot, and spicy wings tossed in savory mango habanero or buffalo sauce. Wings that will crunch the rest. New KFC saucy wings. It's finger licking good.
Every day, we use our feet to walk, run, and take us to amazing places. But your feet can do something even more amazing. A simple step can change a life. Join Guardian Group's Shine 5K Night Run, formerly the Keep It Alive 5K, and make us try to support the Noel Holmes Hospital, the Bustamante Hospital for Children, and Project Star. Saturday, May 10 in Kingston and Saturday, May 24 in Montego Bay. New name, but same epic vibe. Register today at run2shineja.com or runningeventsja.com and see you at Shine 2025.
Big news! The Big Bite Food Safety Show now airs on Nationwide 90 FM with your host, Alison Richards, the Food Safety Girl. Join Alison every Tuesday from 1 to 2 p.m. as she serves up expert advice, tips, and insights on everything food safety. Stay informed, stay vigilant, and remember, food safety is everybody's business. Don't miss a bite of the action. Tuesdays at 1 p.m. only on Nationwide 90 FM, the new revolution in media. Join us on the next episode for Street Food Chronicles. Are you being jerked over?
Our phone numbers are 630-9371, 630-9372, 630-9373, 630-9374, and 618-8255.
My hands were steady, my eyes were clear and bright. My walk had purpose, my steps were quick and light, and I held firm.
What is that ad saying? Yes? Can you play back that ad for me? Are you being jerked over? Let me hear that ad again.
Big news! The Big Bite Food Safety Show now airs on Nationwide 90 FM with your host, Alison Richards, the Food Safety Girl. Join Alison every Tuesday from 1 to 2 p.m. as she serves up expert advice, tips, and insights on everything food safety. Stay informed, stay vigilant, and remember, food safety is everybody's business. Don't miss a bite of the action. Tuesdays at 1 p.m. only on Nationwide 90 FM, the new revolution in media. Join us on the next episode for Street Food Chronicles. Are you being jerked over?
Oh! Ooh. Keep quiet, Cliff. Don't say a word. I don't want to put myself in trouble. Good morning, Cherry.
Good morning, Mr.
We're talking about jerking and now we hear about Cherry.
Not
Cherry?
Mama. Not Mama again.
Eh?
Old girl now.
What's that?
I'm not Mama again. I'm an old girl now.
I would never call you an old girl. Never. No.
Long time you don't hear me.
How you do?
You know, not too bad, man. I'm there.
Good.
Hang on, you know?
All right. What's on your mind this
but
morning?
when I call you this morning about, you see?
Mm-hmm.
I hear the opposition sportsman and health. Where were he when to him opposition man was the Minister of Health? Every hospital broke down in Jamaica.
Mm-hmm.
Me can't forget when me do my operation, me go to St. Mary. You know, it couldn't just be like just in room and came in a theater. There's nothing place mash up.
Eh?
Yeah.
When was that?
When the former PMP was Minister of Health.
Every hospital never mash up. Every
Them
hospital.
them was going down.
Yes, they
If
went
them
through a
was
bad
going down,
period. Yes.
that time would not have to do so much work in the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
We would not have to fix up so much hospital.
Uh-huh. Oh.
Right?
Cherry. Me know you
Yeah?
know Cherry. Are you? Me just pick up the voice, you know. Me just pick up the voice. How you do?
Me there take it easy.
Oh, long time I don't see you, man.
True.
You behave yourself now?
Yeah, man, me not make no trouble.
You want to tell him how you used to make trouble? Remember you know. You know want to tell
It
them?
was a trouble. It was a trouble. It was to start the truth.
Oh, you?
Because when me look on how long a sentence, where Dayton Campbell was, and then vote him out. If he was a good MP, then would have vote him out.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's now him come. Set up to another private doctor place.
Mm-hmm.
And the man is doing a good job. Remember when I Pine Hill Health Center going down, and Mr. Tufton fix it up back and name it after Dr. Ken Barr.
Mm-hmm.
Right? The man is doing such a fine job in the hospital, work in the hospital then.
Cherry, you need to declare your interest. Now, you're one of Mr. Tufton constituents.
Yeah?
Okay.
But I'm a Jamaican.
Oh, yes, Cherry.
I was born in Jamaica. So when things are right, you have to talk.
Go on, Cherry. Yes. So you're first and foremost a Jamaican.
Yeah, I'm a Jamaican. I was born on St. Elizabeth. I'm born in England. In Jamaica, I'm born.
You dip on fire though, Cherry. You dip on... I would that a laugh, so.
No, me?
Who you have in the background and listen to
I'm
me?
alone in my house.
Me hear somebody in the background and laugh.
Me say, I'm me alone in my house. Me alone and God in the house.
Oh.
I'm going to see out the door because the breeze are blow. I'm the one when me I talk to you up on the phone, the breeze are upset me. So me come in, lock the door, and me alone and God inside here.
Okay. Oh.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Because them takes it panel, Mr. Wonitz. Where Andrew Rapp from them.
Me don't know.
The man come and doing a good job in Jamaica. Right? What the man come do? So with poor people, Andrew deal with poor people, with Jamaica people. Eh?
Anyway, Cherry.
Nobody never catch Andrew father come from a small island with drugs.
What?
You don't talk that.
How what they Cherry, now put me in no trouble, you know.
Me not put you in no trouble. Me not put you in trouble, me put you a long time. Right?
Cherry, you alright?
Look how this country is running. Good. Me alright, man. Good too. Look how the country is going. So nice. Them have all that things to say about if Andrew give you a house on your land and you're dead, he might give somebody else it. All the man protect your personal land and put other people on it. So them wouldn't tear down so.
Cherry.
Yes?
You know me have there's a YouTuber who says his name is Mark Greensword.
Yeah?
Mark Greensword just right. Cherry always tell me how she lock Cliff out of Belmont Road. Not true?
That's true. When you come to Belmont Road, when it was a leadership race.
Yes, you and your...
Mark Greensword, I say?
Yeah, Mark Greensword. He said
He's
Cherry always tell me how she lock Cliff out of Belmont Road. I'll never forget. Oh, up in a Tufton constituency?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I watch Mark grow like a little boy.
Oh, laborite like you.
Yeah, of course. We teach him.
Oh, you teach him?
Yes.
Oh. Mark Greenswood. Your teacher, Cherry. All right, Cherry. I hear you this morning.
Yes, so me not done yet.
But Cherry, how much longer you want to go on for?
Me never come on 20 minutes yet.
No, you can't. You know, use it, Cherry.
Then look how long you know hear me and see me. You don't want you to tell the PMP them say, this is done. Because they mash up Jamaica and they want to come back and mash up here again. And you know, left no England come here, you're in born.
Yes, Cherry.
And tell the Minister of Health that him was no good doctor long time. Him would say that him, the former Minister of Health in the PMP government, them was not doing anything for Jamaica. So if he is after Mr. Tufton, if he is after Andrew, because God bless Andrew Warnis and God carrying Mr. Tufton. And you have a good day. You hear me, son?
Have a good day, Cherry. And
All
take
right.
care of yourself.
I will.
All right, good. Boy, I tell you. Cherry is one of those activists in the political process who are staunch defenders of their parties. Yes? You have them in the GLP, you have them in the PNP. Yeah? They are staunch defenders. And I recall this would have been about in the 1990s, when the Labour Party was in its turmoil about several issues. And as a younger reporter, used to cover the politics. Cherry, and there are some others who would, I can't tell you the name, but I used to call them, but they were like the guardian angels, yeah, of the Labour Party. You have to get past them to get to certain people at Belmont Road and Old Hope Road. Cherry was one of those. Who do I have next? Jack, good morning.
Yes, sir. Good morning. As a pensioner, I've been sitting here waiting for a long time. I think most of my minutes are about finished.
You're a what?
Just change the,
You're a what?
As an old pensioner.
You're a pensioner?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
May I just change the mode for a minute and go back to back to Canada? You remember some months ago, you had interviewed a born Jamaican saying that he was throwing his hat into the political campaign.
In Canada?
In Canada, yes, sir. He's Jamaican born. I think he said he went to Chitola Park School IQ, something to the effect.
No, he didn't go to Chitola Park. I think he said he went to Tivoli Gardens Comprehensive High School.
Okay.
A man by the name of Carlton Darby.
Yeah, I wrote his name down months ago.
Carlton Darby, yes.
Right, I did
Yes.
write his name down, contact my friends in Canada.
Yes.
Which he did say when he won, he would be invited to the White House. Remember?
Not to the White House. He wouldn't control the White House.
To where, Mar-a-Lago?
You're funny.
He did say he would be invited by Trump. I can recall.
Oh yes,
that.
he did
And
say
did
when
ask
he
him about
when he was elected, he would be invited to Mar-a-Lago by Trump. Yes.
Yes, sir. And you did ask him about his financial status at the time, which, as far as I'm concerned, it didn't have. I wouldn't know what his finances was, but I've not even heard his name in the elections last night.
Yes. Well,
But you can recall the conversation.
I recall the conversation very well, but I think Mr. Darby had a problem in terms of he was delusional. Yes, he was
delusional. Okay,
yes,
that's
he
the right word.
he was delusional about his political prospects of becoming Prime Minister of Canada. Yes, he didn't figure at all in the elections.
All righty, right. That's what I said I'd call you about. I've been thinking for a long time. My next other stuff is that on the Wednesday after what is that? Easter Monday, on one of your station's program, I would say yours. I don't know what position you are at M&M, but sorry, it was about 8:15. But shortly after the Pope was pronounced dead. And this was the show. It was during, Kareem After Dark or something about 8:15.
Mm-hmm.
And there's some pronunciation of words.
Mm-hmm.
Basilica.
What?
I did a little bit of Latin once in my life, right? That was said. You can ask your producer to look that up.
What was said?
That you would be sitting in, I think the person meant basilica and not basilica.
I'm sure they didn't
That
say
was
basilica.
I
Basilica.
I have it written down here.
Really?
And that was at 8:15 Wednesday after
Oh dear.
Monday. Basilica.
No.
And another one, well, here's my documentation. Right, I did write all about it. I remember Basilica, and I said, oh, that's got to be Basilica.
Yes.
I heard it pronounced in Latin
Basilica.
and in English.
Yes.
So you can ask one of your producers
Uh-huh.
on, I think that's Wednesday the 23rd.
You should have
the
called.
day after.
You should have called the person then and there, and said, no, you got that wrong.
It's Basilica, and I said, oh my God.
No.
It was about 8:15. And I said, I said that to Mr. Hughes because I went to 3 schools in my life. Buck Bay Primary School, Oberlin High School, boarding for boys,
Mm-hmm.
and another school on Mountain View Avenue, going north, going on Mountain View on your left-hand side. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
I would imagine you know what school that would be, yeah?
Yes. I suspect I know.
We call it Antrim.
Yes.
Okay?
Excelsior.
Which I'm a 1968 person from Excelsior.
Yes.
Back then. And I remember once Mr. Puzzle said he had advertised a job for a personal secretary, and she had called and said, I saw your advertisement in the newspaper.
Mm-hmm.
And Mr. Puzzle said, no, the job was taken. Okay? Because he didn't use the word advertisement, it was advertisement.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So hearing Basilica on the 23rd of this month, Carrying After Dark, it was during a break. I said I would call Mr. Hughes because I think he'd be very upset hearing something like that being said on your station. So that's all I have to say. I make myself very...
Thank you for bringing it to my attention. Thank you for bringing it to my attention. Yes.
So my name is Zach, and I will tell you the other word. It was not, oh my Lord, I'm a little bit visually impaired, but I wrote down all of the
Well, you've made the point, and I really appreciate you. Yeah, I really appreciate it. Next time, you try and call in and correct them. Yes, sir. You too, Jack. Have a good one. Time for the break. After the break, the Observer has dubbed it Blue versus Black. Michael Jackson of JFJ. Senator Marlon Morgan. Yes, after the break.
My hands were steady, my eyes were clear and bright. My walk had purpose, my steps were quick and light.
Super healthy, super happy. SuperMed located in Kingston, St. Thomas, Portland, and St. Mary. The time by SuperMed family of pharmacies and Hughes Den Pharmacy is
3 minutes after 11.
Visit Marshall's Pharmacy, Greater Portmore, for all your prescription needs, gifts, personal care, household, and stationery items. The temperature by Marshall's Pharmacy, Greater Portmore is...
It's 31 degrees Celsius in Kingston, 28 in Montego Bay.
Get the inside scoop. Tune in to Budget Bites, a brief breakdown of the 2025 budget presentation by Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness. It's an informative snapshot of the budget and what it means for you. Don't miss Budget Bites, bite-sized insights into the Prime Minister's vision for Jamaica. Budget Bites, unpacking the budget for you.
With improved intelligence gathering, better investigative and crime-solving capabilities, and a return to more targeted and focused strategies on gangs and violence producers. During this period, we saw the interdiction and prosecution of several gangs. But people didn't understand that while the opposition and other, talking heads were criticizing the government over SOEs, we were quietly taking down the gang. We brought about 4 major gangs through the court system using the anti-gang legislation legislation which had never been used before. We didn't say anything about it. And we have 19 cases now coming up. So we were, we were being criticized, and everybody wants to claim and criticize the government and all making all kinds of claims. Well, we were strategic, doing what we were doing because we know what the real problem was, and we know that our investment was going to pay off. You began to see the impact of better investigation. Several really terrible atrocities and crimes were committed, and within weeks and months, the member from East Kingston and Port Royal can attest to that. Very effective investigations. That is as a direct result of government strategy and investment and improvement. So while the opposition and other talking heads were busy criticizing government strategy and policy, we were quietly doing what we know need to be done. Today we can say that year to date, murders are at their lowest level in 25 years. But I still lament that had we the support of the opposition in the use of SOEs, the fall in murders would have been even greater. The PNP, under this leader of the opposition, can take no credit for the reduction in murders. They have done everything possible to obstruct the government. Everything possible to obstruct the government, and now want to stand up and claim credit. We will continue to invest in our security forces and support the transformation of the JCF into a modern, professional, and technology-driven security force. We will continue to target gangs, which account for 70% of murders in the country. If we focus on eliminating gangs, we can reduce our murder rate to below the regional average of 15 per 100,000. And I'm pleased to announce police intelligence now estimate that there are fewer than 100 active gangs in Jamaica since the beginning of the year, coming from 350. Many have been dismantled or have gone dormant. They are laying low because they know they are being hunted relentlessly by the security forces. But this administration takes national security seriously, and through the National Security Council, something that we have instituted in a consistent way, we have been able to coordinate, enhance, and strengthen the work and collaborative efforts of various security forces to yield greater synergies from our security forces. And again, I would like to acknowledge and thank, but most importantly, encourage the members of our security forces. To their respective heads, the Chief of Defense Staff of the JDF Vice Admiral Antoinette Weems Gorman, CD, Commissioner of Police Dr. Kevin Blake, CD, Director General of MOCA, Colonel Desmond Edwards, and Commissioner of Customs, Dr. Velma Ricketts Walker, CD. Continue with your concerted effort to make Jamaica safe. Together, we will eliminate the gangs and bring peace to our country.
The proceeding was brought to you by the Office of the Prime Minister.
Cliff Hughes Online. Talk radio for all Jamaicans.
My hands were steady, my eyes were clear and bright. My walk had purpose, my steps were quick and light. And I held firm to what I felt was right, like a rock. Like a rock.
Good morning once again, 9 minutes after 11. Sometime shortly after midday today, the lobby group Jamaicans for Justice is expecting Jamaicans, several scores of Jamaicans, to join them in the vicinity of the transport center in Halfway Tree in a show of support for, let me call it, due process to be showed and care in following the law in matters relating to the Jamaica Constabulary Force's engagement of Jamaicans in shootings. JFJ has been a lobby group now for more than 25 years, going 26 years. Started back in 1999. And they have come under a lot of pressure. Why? Because there's a mood in the country, there's a sense in the country that finally the Jamaica Constabulary Force seems to be turning the tide against the murderers, the criminals. And a lot of Jamaicans are interpreting the advocacy for the JCF to play by the rules, ensure that they conduct themselves in a manner that can stand up to scrutiny and that they can be held accountable for their conduct. But some Jamaicans don't take kindly to that. And therefore, today's call for that demonstration of support has ignited tensions in the country. One of our daily newspapers this morning characterized it as blue versus black. Well, I have with me this morning the Executive Director of Jamaicans for Justice, Michael Jackson, who herself has come under serious threats and condemnation and personal attacks, threatening her personal safety. I also have with me Government Senator Marlon Morgan, yes, who issued a statement yesterday, yes, basically urging Jamaicans to turn out in support of the constabulary force. Good morning, Mr. Senator Morgan. Good morning, Ms. Jackson.
Good morning, Mr. Hughes. Good morning, Senator. Hope you're doing well. And good morning to your listeners.
Good morning, Chris.
Good morning.
Good morning to Ms. Jackson and the nationwide listeners
Thank you.
across Jamaica and in the diaspora.
Thank you very much for accepting our invitation to be here this morning. I'm going to begin with you, Michael Jackson. Yeah, you have been subject of the ire of Jamaicans because Jamaicans feel that, listen, JFJ is on the side of criminals at a time when the JCF is turning the tide. Yes? Why don't you just simply shut up and allow the JCF to get on with their work? There are the Indicoms of this world, the Police Civilian Complaints Authority. They are already doing the job. How do you respond to that sentiment?
I and the board, the staff at JFJ, we respond in two ways. And let me start by saying, while there are those who may oppose the message that we're trying to promote, equally, we have garnered significant support from members in the public, from the communities that are most affected by state violence. We have garnered support from current and past clients, and we're comforted by that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I appreciate that when you have high crime levels, especially when the numbers are reducing, far too often people will be of the view that, listen, let us just allow the agency to carry on with their work. And then if there was anything untoward, we can deal with it at a later date.
Mm-hmm.
And what we are saying to individuals, accountability is important. And though we all celebrate the reduction in murder, I think it's about 36% now. These are great numbers. But we should never have selective accountability. And we are also saying that we're guided by the cause and those who we represent here at JFJ. We are just coming from court for one teenager this morning who was violated by a police officer. It was circulated in the media. So these are the persons that we support. And it's something, again, that we're comforted by. And I just want all Jamaicans to know that this is not an anti-police protest or rhetoric. This is merely a call for increased accountability by way of the body-worn cameras and other reforms that we're proposing.
How do you respond to that, Senator Morgan? What is there in that for you to? Can you disagree with that?
Well, first of all, Cliff, I want to thank you for the opportunity. And just to indicate, I consider myself a patriotic, a well-thinking, and a law-abiding Jamaican. And I am able, by way of a press release and by way of other platforms, implore the Jamaican people to stand in solidarity with the men and women in blue, our hard-working police, who go out in many instances risking their lives to keep us safe, to serve, protect, and reassure us. I take no issue with police accountability, Cliff. I take no issue with Indicom or indeed Jamaicans for Justice and Ms. Jackson in terms of the discharge of their lobby work, right? They have a role to play in Jamaican society. The key point here, though, is that whereas we have an independent commission, that is Indicom, to investigate allegations of misconduct on the part of the police, or more broadly, to investigate fatal, or incidents involving the police. And we have at the same time IPROBE as well as the Police Civilian Oversight Authority. I think in circumstances where we have had police killings in the country, now amounting to 106, at least at the latest count, and Ms. Jackson and her outfit, JFJ, would have essentially seen it fit to undertake a protest, which they have dubbed End Police Violence. I think that in and of itself is a disservice to due process. You cannot, on the one hand, be speaking about due process and being a sucker and a stickler for process when you yourself, as JFJ, are doing things that essentially run counter to due process. In that, we have Indicom charged with doing a body of work. They are statutorily charged, and the truth of the matter is that even in the sight of these 106 police killings so far, no determination has been made, really, in terms of successful prosecution that would conclude definitively that these have indeed been instances that constitute extrajudicial killing or excesses on the part of the police. So just to be clear, because elsewhere in media last afternoon, and I saw her on social media as well last evening, Cliff, Miss Jackson essentially suggested that my press release yesterday has the effect of dividing the Jamaican people. Now, I believe that as
Can you just hold that point? Let me take a break and then we can pick it up before we go any further. Just a moment. Stay with us.
My hands were steady, my eyes were clear and bright.
New KFC saucy wings. Attention all wings lovers. KFC saucy wings with 2 new flavors. Saucy wings. Mango habanero and buffalo. Hot, spicy. KFC we have saucy wings. Delicious, spicy, the best. So a new KFC saucy wings crush the rest. Nobody does wings like KFC. New saucy wings is for me.
New KFC saucy wings. Delicious, hot, and spicy wings tossed in savory mango habanero or buffalo sauce. Wings that will crunch the rest. New KFC saucy wings. It's finger licking good.
Celebrate mom with the Jamaica Observer's 4 Moms Mother's Day promotion. Win big for mom with a $50,000 cash prize, appliances, gift certificates, movie passes, and more. Just spend $6,000 or more with your multi-link card. Grab the Daily Observer, complete the entry form, and submit it with your receipt. 4 lucky moms will win. Enter by May 16th and make this Mother's Day unforgettable. See the Jamaica Observer for more details. Authorized under Section 58.3 of the Betting, Gaming, and Lotteries Act.
Cliff Hughes Online. Talk radio for all Jamaicans.
My hands were steady.
We have with us Executive Director of Jamaicans for Justice, Michael Jackson, and Government Senator Marlon Morgan, debating this issue of police killings and how we hold the police to account for their conduct in dealing with members of the Jamaican public. Mr. Morgan, you were on the point of Ms. Jackson yesterday.
I was just finishing up this point. So just to be clear,
in circumstances where I am urging Jamaicans to stand in solidarity with the police today, 29th April, by wearing blue, it has been characterized by Ms. Jackson, at least that is the reportage in a section of the media last afternoon, and I heard her on social media last evening as well, making the point that my call is invariably divisive. If we were to follow Mikhail's own logic, the fact that JFJ initiated a protest, that in and of itself would smack of something divisive. And so I think that that is an unfortunate characterization of my call. I take no issue with JFJ's work. All I'm saying is that the policemen and women undertake policing in very tough and trying circumstances, and in no way, shape, or form should police killings be automatically framed as being things that are reflective of or constituting excesses on the part of the police, because the competent authority has not yet pronounced definitively on many of these instances. If, in fact, this 106 so far, I do not know of Indicom having concluded in relation to the 106 police killings we have had so far. And so it is preemptive of the process, and the very entity that prides itself as being the champions of human rights, process and justice in the country cannot be preempting due process in terms of the work of Indicom, iProbe, and the police civilian oversight authority, as well as my own constitutional rights as a Jamaican to association and, of course, expression.
All right. Ms. Jackson, your turn.
What quite a mouthful said by the good senator. But first, let me say this. Senator Morgan has the honor of serving in the Senate, which is the review chamber. He also holds a distinguished position as the communications chair, I believe it is, for the Jamaica Labour Party's communications task force. I stand corrected on the framing. Now, when you have a senior member who is also a lawmaker, not only if the call were to be made to say that the ruling party has made investments with the police force and so on, and we have done X when it comes to the police stations. We have invested in, the police ability to do intelligence-based policing. But when a senior member of a political party, who is also a senator, makes a call to wear blue, even though that statement was well worded, when it hits the ground, as the framing did with one of the newspapers, the Jamaica Observer, it becomes an us versus them. So nobody is undermining the good senator's constitutional rights. What we're saying is, to whom much is given, much is expected, and there are consequences with words. And that is something I want the good senator to appreciate. Now, on the point of, and let me be very clear, we have maintained that we have no issues with individuals wearing blue. The senator is correct. You have a right to assembly. You have a freedom of expression, freedom to voice your political opinions, thoughts, and so on. That is not of dispute. We're saying if it is coming from a senator, a lawmaker, who has an opportunity to speak to the public, let us move with a call to ensure that we have the increased resources so that the data storage infrastructure for the body-worn cameras can be put in place. That's a different thing. But when you say we're blue, the argument then becomes an us versus them, even if it was not intended. And that is something I want us to appreciate. It's not the same logic by saying because we're having a protest, we were operating from the possibility of dividing the country, because from day one we have articulated this is not an anti-police protest. This is a pro-accountability, pro-human rights protest. I also urge the senator, as I segue to other points, to read the Indicom reports with greater probity, to get a sense of what Indicom has said in their reports. It's something different from what we're articulating now. We're saying that 106 killings to date is a cause for concern when people are saying to JFJ and Indicom that this is my account of this fatal shooting, which may differ from the police account. JFJ has never, and I dare the good senator to find a clip with Michael Jackson where we suggested that these are extrajudicial killings. We have never made such a pronouncement. It would be irresponsible of us to do that. What we have said, we have gotten reports from clients where there may be conflicting accounts, and because of that, there is enough for us to call for greater scrutiny and for the body-worn cameras to be there. That is a call also made by Indicom. And just by a way of refreshing the good senator, with a little bit of a human rights history and JFJ's work. When Michael Gale was killed in 1999, when the Grant Penn killing of 53 men in 1999, and JFJ took the matter to the Inter-American Commission of Human Rights, these men were awarded, I think, about $13 million thereabouts. I stand corrected on the figure. Michael Gale was awarded a few $1,000,000 as well. But as a result of our strident advocacy, it led towards and contributed towards the income that the good senator has quoted. I also want to urge the good senator to understand that JFJ, we have been consistent in our support for the police officers. We have trained 569 since 2023 to present, 188 alone in 2024. My predecessor, Rajay Malcolm, he was in the news advocating for police officers to get their increased salaries just a few years ago when the Police Federation had to be litigating its way for increased salaries. So, JFJ, we have been there. We have called for increased welfare support to our police. So to frame our advocacy as anything else is irresponsible and again can result in a further divide. Not only from my senator friend here. And Marlon, you know I have respect for you as an individual. You know that. But I'm saying that when we frame things in a particular way, it may have an intention that it never was something that we had wanted it to have. And that is all we're saying.
All
Just
right.
be responsible, you're a lawmaker.
You have said more than a mouthful there now, Mikel. Mr. Morgan?
To just the fair interest, if I think it should be disclosed, Mikel and I are actually neighbors. We're domiciled in the same complex. Yes?
Oh, dear.
So, just to be clear.
Okay.
So, we are actually good friends. However, we have another commonality in that she is formidable and vociferous in what she does, and as you can appreciate, Cliff, I'm equally formidable and vociferous in relation to my own advocacy in relation to Jamaica Land We Love. But just to be clear, Cliff, from time to time, we will have a variance of views and a variance of accounts in relation to instances involving the police. For example, a police killing, yes? You will have a particular version by the police and a particular version by the citizens or persons who profess to be witnesses, yes? No. An appropriate body has been set up independent of the police so that you correct the mischief of the police investigating itself. And that is how Indicom came about. Now, for Mikel to continuously express and engage in the way she does, I find and I proffer this morning that that is a bit preemptive of process, because the very nature of what the police does, Cliff, and based on the brazen criminals that may confront our policemen and women from time to time, they may have to respond in ways that result in killings. And therefore, there's a lot of mischief, I submit, being made around this term, this expression, police killings. It is open to some visceral meanings and some pejorative understandings by the public. And I dare say there are some among us who are weaponizing and exploiting this term, police killing, because the truth of the matter is that JFJ, for example, enters upon the reference and pouts on this issue of police killings, when in truth and in fact, you may have any number of police killings in the country at any point in time, because the police killing, to the extent that they are lawful and within the confines of the JSF Act, they may number 500, they may number 1,000, they may number 2,000. If criminals confront the police, if 3,000 men descend upon police stations across the country and open fire, the police would be required to return fire and protect themselves and the rest of us. And so you may have 3,000 police killings. So it is not police killings that should be the bane of our existence. It is police killings that, at a prima facie level, and more importantly, in terms of conviction, that should be the bane of our existence. And any other utterance where that is concerned, I dare say, is preemptive and disrespectful and disregarding, I say, of the process, because that is the very reason why we have an independent commission of investigation. And I want to say something on the issue of body cameras, perhaps after your next intervention, please.
Well, we're up on the break. Yes, stay with us. Michael Jackson and Marlon Morgan.
My hands were steady, my eyes were clear and bright. My walk had purpose, my steps were...
The Time, brought to you by Bird Shack Fried Chicken. Burrata. Buy a 3-piece hat-trick meal and get an extra piece free for a limited time only is...
11:30.
Every day, we use our feet to walk, run, and take us to amazing places. But your feet can do something even more amazing. A simple step can change a life. Join Guardian Group's Shine 5K Night Run, formerly the Keep It Alive 5K, and make us try to support the Noel Holmes Hospital, the Bustamante Hospital for Children, and Project Star. Saturday, May 10 in Kingston and Saturday, May 24 in Montego Bay. New name, but same epic vibe. Register today at run2shineja.com or runningeventsja.com and see you at Shine 2025.
A mother's journey of love shared from generation to generation. Give her the ultimate relaxation and escape to Adam and Eve Day Spa and Salon for a mommy-made new experience this Mother's Day, Sunday, May 11. Book now at www.adamandeve.dayspaja.com. Purchase gift certificates or call 876-754-6017. Get mom the perfect gift of love. This Mother's Day, let Team Adam and Eve take her on a spa journey. She deserves it.
Cliff Hughes Online. Talk radio for all Jamaicans.
My hands were steady.
Well, we continue with Senator Marlon Morgan and the Executive Director of JFJ, Michael Jackson, on this issue of police killings and how we have been going about it. And my producer tells me that the Commissioner of Indicom, Hugh Faulkner, has been listening to the conversation, and he says he'd like to just make a contribution in terms of a point of information. Did I get it right, Madam Producer? Information. Mr. Faulkner?
Yes, good morning, Mr. Hughes.
Good morning. What is that information you want to add?
Right, and good morning to your guests, both Ms. Jackson and Mr.
Morning, Mr. Faulkner.
Good morning, Mr. Faulkner.
Right. So, just a bit of data. In terms of the 106 fatalities, let me just, I think I can explain. In terms of the workings of Indicom, if you look at the data, for 2024, we received 24 rulings from the Director of Public Prosecutions for officers to be charged for incidents that we investigated. Of the 24 rulings, 10 involved fatalities. Now, for most of those rulings, 3 of the 10, we got the ruling 12 months after the incident, which not bad, but we would wish to see that improve in terms of the timeline. And there were 2 incidents where we submitted our file and charges were laid within 3 weeks, fatalities. And in other words, depending on the material you have available, you can move with expedition or you have to await all the processes. So 2 matters, and I think the public can recall 2 matters. There was a fatal shooting downtown, and there was one in the vicinity of Arden Road, where in those matters we put them before the court within roughly about 3 weeks. And of the other matters, of the other 8 matters, 7 fatal shootings involved the police and 1 involved a JDF soldier. Of those 8 matters, 3 came to a conclusion in terms of a ruling within a year. The others went beyond a year. So the 106 now, it will take some time, Cliff, and depending on the material you have, it will take a little time. So it's hardly likely that you'll have a determination, within weeks, unless the nature of the material available to you can can sustain prosecutorial standard that you can submit to the DPP. So that's the data I wish to add.
Oh, hold on.
If there's something I'd like to point out.
Just a moment, Mr. Morgan. Mr. Commissioner,
yes.
How many of those actually went before the court and was tried and concluded?
Right. Cliff, in fact, I was driving when I heard the dialogue. I do not have that data with me. But what I have indicated, Cliff, when the matter is prosecuted and put before the court, Indicom has no control over how the tribunal of fact determines it.
Right.
Right. So that is totally out of our control.
Yeah, but it's
But I can give you the data if I could jump in here based on.
No, hold on, Michael. I just want Mr. Faulkner to complete. So, do you have that data or you don't, Mr. Faulkner?
Not with me, but we published that information, I think, on our 2023 report. We had looked at all the cases put before the court by Indicom, and we had indicated the numbers where conviction occurred. In many instances, there were acquittals, but again, we have to indicate to our investigators, etc., that when the matter goes before the jury or where it's a judge alone, then the decision is out of your control.
Absolutely.
Even if you believe the evidence,
the point I'm making.
even if you believe the evidence, Cliff, because there has been evidence, even with video material, and there may be disappointment, but then again, that's the system we function.
Sure.
In.
All right.
So all of that intervention a while ago underscores the very point I'm making, because the truth is there will always be an interregnum, a period between when an incident occurs and when a ruling comes down from the DPP, or when a conviction or an acquittal ensues. So we understand that. Now, there's a fundamental point to be clarified here, because if you listen to JFJ, the public will get the impression that the constabulary or indeed the government are averse to body cameras. It is the express policy of the Andrew Holness-led Jamaica Labour Party government, Cliff, and listeners, that body cameras are of paramount importance and indeed are useful tools vis-a-vis accountability for our policemen and women out on the beat.
All right.
Now, just to be clear, there is the supporting infrastructure to make the cameras.
All right, we can come back to this, but I want to allow Mikel to hold on, Senator, because that is for another segment of the discussion.
Might I be excused, Cliff?
Yes, certainly. But
right,
Mikel, you wanted to make a point, an intervention. Yes.
And I'm so happy that Mr. Faulkner called in, because that is the very important point that we're making. The last time we had the data, and we welcome these 24 rulings, and the rulings are simply rulings from the Director of Public Prosecution that they have agreed with Indicom that charges will be laid. And it is instructive that we note what Mr. Faulkner just said. Of the two incidents, when I spoke last, I only knew of one, which was the Windward Road shooting. Of the two incidents, and let me speak to the Windward Road, it happened in 2024, and I believe within 2 weeks, we were able to charge the two officers who were involved. What is the reason for that charge being able to be laid so quickly? The CCTV footage that was made available. Mr. Faulkner quoted, I believe, about 10 or so incidents that occurred a year prior that they were able to get rulings on. All other incidents happened 2021, 2022, and so on. So it shows that there are some systemic issues that we need to deal with in terms of greater resources being made to the forensic unit and so on, so that we can reduce the backlog and get some attention so the matters can be expedited, so that they can get a ballistics report and so on. Mr. Faulkner was making reference to another report. In 2024, Indicom released a report where they noted between 2011 and 2023 of 118 matters, only 15 convictions came about as a result of those matters that were investigated. The point that I'm making is, when you look at the number of charges being laid, vis-a-vis the prosecution, and then you go to the conviction, you see where it starts trending down to low percentage. Now, in all of these instances, or in some of
And
these
what's the
instances,
takeaway
let me
for that?
clarify.
And what's your
The
takeaway from
takeaway
that?
that I'm making is greater resources are needed to deal with the systemic issues, because the rate of prosecution is not where we need to be. But what we got from Mr. Faulkner is that CCTV footage or camera footage generally helps with advancing the investigation so that charges can be laid and again the matter can be prosecuted. And that's all we're calling for. Body-worn cameras to aid in the independent account of these incidents.
Mr. Morgan.
Before I come back to the observations on the question of body-worn cameras, I'd just like to say, if you are to listen to Jeff J. and Miss Jackson and other advocates, on the face of it, you will come away with a view that there are wanton police excesses here in Jamaica and there's this indiscriminate killing of people. As you have heard from Hugh Faulkner and as Michael Jackson is corroborating and underscoring just now, the numbers do not bear that out. So just to be clear.
No, that's not what I'm saying, Mr. Morgan. I don't like to be misquoted. What I'm
not
saying is
misquoting
this.
you.
Hold on, Michaela. Hold on. We have been doing hold on. We've been doing very well. Allow him, Michael. Allow him, Michael, and then you will respond. Go ahead, Mr. Morgan.
Let me come to the body-worn cameras, because the truth of the matter is that, contrary to the picture being painted, Jamaica is not a state in which there is this wanton, indiscriminate police killings based on what the numbers are suggesting in terms of convictions or rulings that go on to lead to convictions. That is very clear and incontrovertible. On the question of body-worn cameras, Clip, there are just about 750 body-worn cameras being deployed by the JSF at present. That's what they have in their inventory. They are in procurement now. I suspect they are far advanced now to procure another 1,000. I am advised, Cliff, that there are some 8,000 policemen and women who engage in police settings and contexts that may see them being the ones to be vested with body-worn cameras. Now, the truth of the matter is that whereas Michael will be framing body-worn cameras as a panacea, it is important for our listeners to understand that there are some limitations. However, in that you will have blind spots even when body-worn cameras are deployed and are in use, because when a policeman is engaged by a marauding criminal and they have to take evasive action and so on, there are instances where out on the field, out on the beat, they may not even be able to engage the cameras to begin with, because practically and in a real life setting, no policeman can pause and tell the criminal, while I turn on my camera and then engage. When the criminals start to knock it at the police has to take cover and has to return fire and do the appropriate thing. So we recognize the utility of body-worn cameras, but I wouldn't want our conversation to do a disservice and overlook the fact that there are limitations in body-worn cameras. The government is committed to body-worn cameras, and that is why it invested in the supporting infrastructure to facilitate and enable the rollout of body-worn cameras. So let's be very clear on that.
I hear you. Do you believe that, Ms. Jackson, that they are committed to the procurement and deployment of body-worn cameras, or that's just chat, in your opinion?
What I would say is this. 2 successive years, I've read and heard our good Minister of National Security do his sectoral presentation. And both years, the Honorable Minister said 400 body-worn cameras were deployed and another 1,000 are to be procured. The same line, 2 successive years. And we have been told recently, when I had done an ATI with the JCF, at the time we had the figure of 400. The JCF has since clarified that it's 750. Now, I don't question the motive of any government. What I want are clear timelines. I think we need to take stock of the body-worn cameras that we have had since 2011 from a fixed asset registry standpoint. What did we have, what not working? Because remember, we got some from U.S. Embassy, I think, to the equivalent of 45 million. We got some others and so on. So if you put all of those together as announcements from former State Minister Xavier Main, I believe at the time he said another 600 would be procured. How do we do a full accounting of all of the utterances that have been made so we know exactly what is the timeline for this particular amount to be procured? And I will also ask the good senator to clarify for us the timeline for the data storage infrastructure to be strengthened. We have been told, notwithstanding we had a pilot project from 2011, that we need the data storage infrastructure to be in place. Just tell the Jamaican people what the timeline is. Tell the Jamaican people what the resources are that may be preventing us. So yes, we need more body-worn cameras, but we also need to know the timeline for that data storage infrastructure. Again, good senator, I don't see my questions to be unreasonable. And those are the only questions I would have for the senator.
Hold on for us.
I don't suggest that they are.
Look, we are up on our final break before the midday news. Stay with us.
My hands were steady, my eyes were clear and bright.
Furniture Land at 112 Constant Spring Road is Jamaica's premier furniture retailer when searching for stylish and elegant pieces for your home. The time by Furniture Land is
11:45.
At Kia, driving your future means joining the movement that inspires. Whether it's the small but mighty Picanto hatchback or the top-of-the-line tech-rich Sorrento SUV, there's a Kia that perfectly fits your lifestyle and your budget. ATL Automotive has gotten Jamaicans behind the wheels of thousands of Kias for the past 7 years. And we're ready to get you behind the wheel of a Kia too. Simply visit the nearest Kia showroom for a test drive now.
Every day, we use our feet to walk, run, and take us to amazing places. But your feet can do something even more amazing. A simple step can change a life. Join Guardian Group's Shine 5K Night Run, formerly the Keep It Alive 5K, and make us try to support the Noel Holmes Hospital, the Bustamante Hospital for Children, and Project Star. Saturday, May 10 in Kingston and Saturday, May 24 in Montego Bay. New name, but same epic vibe. Register today at run2shineja.com or runningeventsja.com and see you at Shine 2025.
Cliff Hughes Online. Talk radio for all Jamaicans.
My hands were steady, my eyes were clear and bright.
All right, 13 minutes going up to noon. And we're going to wrap up now with Michael Jackson of JFJ and Senator Marlon Morgan on the issue of police shootings. So, is there greater understanding at the end of what? Nearly half an hour, 40 minutes between Michael and Marlon, or not?
There was no ambiguity on my part coming into this conversation. I trust that our listeners, Cliff, will be apprised in clear terms that the government and the JCF are committed to body-worn cameras. Michael posed the question just now. I would suggest that she pose that question to the JCF in terms of the enabling technology, the technology to strengthen, because there is technology in place at this time. Now, as to the strengthening of it, that's an update she can ascertain from Police Commissioner Dr. Blake, or in fact, the National Security Minister who contributes to the sectoral debate this afternoon may point that out in his remarks in the Parliament. But for what it is worth, Cliff, our policemen and women have been doing yeoman service to this country. I want to register in no uncertain terms my support for them and the sacrifice they make. Yes, and the truth of the matter is that the 36.6% reduction up to April 26 that we have realized so far augurs well for us as a country. It is something for which many Jamaicans over many years have been clamoring. We are realizing it now, and I say to the police, don't stop at all. Don't stop at all.
Ms. Jackson, on that point, there's the police commissioner has been making this point, and others, that listen, the police's capacity where information, intelligence, investigations are concerned has clearly improved. And there are more confrontations now with hardened criminals. And if there are going to be more confrontations, then the probability is that the police are going to have those confrontations and we don't expect them to lose. How do you respond to that argument that the police are winning more and more of those confrontations?
the law supports lawful actions. The use of force policy supports a reasonable and proportionate response. And JFJ supports the law and the use of force policy. Whenever police officers are executing their duties, they have a duty and a right to protect themselves and civilians if it is that they come under attack. JFJ is saying, however, that in some of these incidents, we have gotten conflicting reports where witnesses and bystanders have indicated, listen, there was no confrontation and the person was unarmed. And while due process must unfold, we're saying that far too many of those instances have occurred where we have enough to raise scrutiny and call for the body-worn cameras. That is our position, and it will remain, and we will chant it later at our peaceful protest. And so our officers who have also called the office saying that they support the call for the body-worn cameras, you know JFJ stands with you. If you need welfare advocacy, we are here for you. If you need increased resources, we will advocate on your behalf. Continue to make the call to the good men and women of the force. We stand with you always. But for the few bad apples who act unlawfully, our advocacy will ring very loud in the call for body-worn cameras and other systemic changes and reforms to be made.
Mm-hmm.
So I believe the Police Federation is well placed to treat with welfare advocacy for the men and the deserving men and women of the JCF. But no doubt, to the extent that Ms. Jackson elects to add to that, I'm sure the police will welcome that. But just to be clear, significant investments have been made in human rights training. We saw that prior to the instituting of the ZOSOs back in 2017. And so the police have considerable capacity. They are better positioned now in terms of their sensitivity and sense of, being apprised of human rights imperatives when they go out and discharge their work. And based on what we heard from Mikel a while ago, it would appear as though where there's a variance in the police's account and the citizen's account, they operate JFJ, that is, that the citizen's account is in fact the correct account, because anything other than that is just being preemptive of the process. Yes? And we heard in clear terms a while ago what the situation is. Where a variance exists, it appears that JFJ comes down on the account or on the side of what a witness alleges, rather than what the police alleges. And that's just where we are.
I love the communication twist, but quite frankly, Mr. Morgan, I want you to know that JFJ worked on the ZOSO Act. We made submission, and what you're touting as successes, let's give kudos to the organization for its good work. You quoted the human rights training. We have been doing it. So I'm saying let's give kudos to JFJ while you're making those utterances.
My good friend Michael, I thank you wholeheartedly for whatever contribution Jamaicans for Justice.
Name them, please tell it us so the staff who are listening.
Hold on. We don't want to lose it.
Unequivocal.
Hold on. You're talking over each other. What are you
unequivocal?
Hold on, no. What are you unequivocal about, Senator Morgan?
The inputs that JFJ would have had vis-a-vis human rights sensitization and capacity building with respect to men and women of the JCF, Cliff.
And what is that, Mikel? Give me a little bit more.
Now, I was just saying thanks to the good Senator for acknowledging that the contributions that we made to the ZOSO Act, that he was touting as a success, the human rights trainings that JFJ has contributed, and just since here we're a part of a meeting looking at the curricula for human rights training. So I was just asking him to acknowledge those successes and not to misquote some of what I said, because if I'm saying that citizens call our office, it's enough for scrutiny, not that we believe people blindly. And I would not want to be misquoted, as I've said.
But remember, the protest was banded as, it was dubbed and is dubbed rather, end police violence. That's a strong supposition, and quite frankly, there are legitimate mechanisms when the police, based on their job description and the JSF Act, undertake their work. Because when a police, Cliff, has to administer taser and knife stick, they have to wield a baton in order to get a citizen who is being recalcitrant to comply, and in order to effect an arrest to somebody who is resisting arrest. The truth is, appropriate force has to be applied, and that force may constitute violence, but that is within the ambit of what is appropriate and responsible and reasonable force in the circumstance. So when you dubbed the protest end police violence, it serves to, and it can have the effect of demoralizing our policemen and women, which is entirely what the tone, tenor, and thrust of my press release was last afternoon.
So, Michael and Marlon, if I dare to call you both that, yeah, Michael and Marlon, it seems to me that there is much more that we all agree on than what we disagree on. But it seems as if we get caught up in silos and we talk past each other and shout over each other. Wouldn't you say? Listen to the both of you now and where we are, where we have landed. It seems as if you both agree body-worn cameras needed. Let's get it done. Yes? Greater accountability? Yes, let's get it done. You know, there's more that we agree on than what separates us or divides us.
And I was very clear on that, Cliff, because all I'm saying, I'm employing persons to don blue. I'm not trespassing on the right or, option of persons in relation to donning black. And Michael and I may very well be having a drink under our gazebo later.
Oh, dear.
I wish her an incident-free,
And in that regard, in that regard, Senator, you can speak to those Jamaicans who have been personally attacking and threatening, the Mikel and the staff at JFJ. Yeah, I had one of your supporters here last week. I had to tell him no about walking up today with baseball bats. Tell them no.
Well, no, that is not in keeping with our fine traditions in terms of a democracy, where people have the right to lobby, people have the right of advocacy and the freedom of expression. And, of course, the JFJ that I know, yes, when they do a protest, they'll be doing so in responsible ways, not inconsistent with public order and the good order of the country. So I would encourage persons to desist from the vitriol and desist, of course, from anything that would, harm or foment harm or hostility to Ms. Jackson and her team or any other Jamaican advocate vis-a-vis human rights.
Last word to you, Michael Jackson.
I thank Senator Morgan for his kind words and again the opportunity to speak. It's a peaceful protest later, and I urge persons to observe law and order and public safety. It's peace and love always.
Mm-hmm. Thank you both. Michael Jackson, Executive Director of JFJ, Senator Marlon Morgan. Thank you very much. That's where we're going to leave it for the morning session. We're going to make way now for the world at noon. We'll be back at 12:30.
My hands were steady, my eyes were clear and bright. My walk had purpose, my steps were quick and light. And I held firm to what I felt was right, like a rock. Like a rock. I was strong as I could be.
Tune in to Nationwide 90 FM on Tuesday, April 29 from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. for the live sectoral presentation by the Minister of National Security, the Honorable Dr. Horace Chang. Also, you can view the presentation on Nationwide 90 FM's YouTube channel at Nationwide 90 FM Live 2. So tune in to Nationwide 90 FM on Tuesday, April 29 from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. It's the live sectoral presentation by the Minister of National Security, the Honorable Dr. Horace Chang. All this and more only on Nationwide 90 FM, the new revolution in media. This broadcast is sponsored by the Ministry of National Security.
The The Nationwide 90 FM Schoolyard Tour 2025 is taking the vibes island-wide, straight to your schoolyard.
Pull up your pants and put it on your waist.
Stay tuned to the E-Zone and find out which school they're going to visit next. It's all about empowering minds and igniting the fun. Expect live entertainment, games, and big surprises as we bring the Nationwide 90 FM energy to every stop. And you know we must stream it live on our YouTube channel at Nationwide 90 FM Live 2. It's the Schoolyard Tour. Catch the live stream on Nationwide's YouTube channel at Nationwide 90 FM Live 2. Keep your station locked to Nationwide 90 FM for more details. All this and more only on Nationwide 90 FM, the new revolution in media. The Schoolyard Tour is brought to you by the Students' Loan Bureau, KFC, Tip Friendly Society, National Council on Drug Abuse, and ATL Automotive.
Nationwide 90 FM, continuing the tradition of fair, fearless, and factual reporting. You're listening to Nationwide 90 FM. The time is
12 o'clock.
The News at Noon teasers are brought to you by AnyBet, your best bet.
It's credible and factual. The World at Noon on Nationwide 90 FM.
Good afternoon, I'm Robianne Williams. Coming up in the World at Noon for Tuesday, April 29, 2025. TikToker shot and killed while live streaming. Manhunt launched for a prisoner who escaped police guard while at Kingston Hospital. Former political ombudsman questions reason for budget increase for downscaled office.
The whole year has gone by. We're not aware of any cost associated with the duties of the ombudsman in the last year. And I guess they have another 60 million. I'm not sure to do what.
Carnival in Jamaica brings in more than 8,000 tourists in a single week. In regional news, Cuba arrests prominent dissident and rights activist Jose Daniel Ferrer. In international news, Canada will deal with Trump on our terms, says PM Carney. And in sports, the Bahamas will not compete at the World Relays in China later this month. The details after the break.
The News at Noon teasers were brought to you by AnyBet, your best bet. The Midday News is brought to you by Total Tools. Every tool, every trade.
If it's news, it's got to be Nationwide 90 FM.
Now to the details. The St. Andrew North Police is probing the execution-style killing of a man while he was streaming live on social media Monday evening. Dead is Jabari Johnson. A video circulating on social media shows Johnson doing a live chat with a fellow TikToker on social media platform. Johnson is then seen being approached from behind by a hooded figure. The attacker, decked in black and wearing a mask, opened fire at close range, hitting Johnson several times in the head and upper body. The video shows Johnson collapsing to the ground while his attacker continues to shoot. The incident happened in the vicinity of Queenie's Snack Shop in Red Hills Road in St. Andrew around 8:30 p.m. We advise our listeners that the following clip of the moment Johnson was shot dead may be disturbing.
Yo, my side, on a snipe off this for me there, please. Me I beg on a snipe.
Empress, we on the last piece.
Johnson's social media handle is One Baba Skeng. It's understood he's the son of reggae artist Mason, known for his hit My Princess Gone. This is the fourth high-profile murder of a popular TikTok figure in recent months. In December, 23-year-old Marlon Samuels, also known as 41 Bushead, was shot and killed in St. James during a TikTok live. Also in December, Xavier Foga, more popularly known as Naya Gang, was killed in Old Harbour, St. Catherine, while streaming live on the platform. Meanwhile, Keanu Popsy Watson was shot and killed September 2024 in Almontown, Kingston. He was also streaming on TikTok at the time of his demise. The St. Andrew South Police have launched a manhunt for a prisoner who fled custody early Tuesday morning. On the loose is 29-year-old Garfield Diaz, otherwise called Camphor Ball, of St. Paul Lane, Kingston 11. He is of dark complexion, medium build, and has scars on the left side of his head and right arm. The police say Diaz fled a corporate area hospital where he was under police guard. The incident happened about 4 a.m. Diaz was detained on a charge of assault occasioning grievous bodily harm. The police is urging him to surrender. Anyone knowing the whereabouts of Garfield Diaz alias Camphor Ball is asked to contact the Hunts Bay Police at 876-923-711, the 119 police emergency number, or the nearest police station. The police are also reminding the public that harboring a fugitive is a criminal offense. Representatives from the Social Security Ministry are currently on the ground in the Charles Street area of West Kingston in response to a fire that razed several homes on Monday. The team is expected to document the extent of the damage and determine ways the state can assist the victims. The blaze destroyed the homes of 4 families, including 12 adults and 4 children. The fire reportedly started on Charles Street and spread to Luke Lane, gutting the houses built mainly with plywood and zinc. Preliminary reports from the Jamaica Fire Brigade reveal that losses are in the region of $10 million. Former political ombudsman Donna Parchment Brown is questioning the reason for the increase in the budget for the office now that it has been subsumed under the Electoral Commission of Jamaica, ECJ. Mrs. Parchment Brown was speaking Monday on the Jamaicans for Justice produced show Let's Talk Justice, aired on Nationwide 90 FM. Mahiri Stewart reports.
Donna Parchment Brown was the last holder of the standalone office before it was subsumed under the country's chief electoral oversight body, the ECJ. The move by the Holness administration has been widely criticized by civil society groups and the parliamentary opposition. But the government is insisting it will not change course. Mrs. Parchment Brown says among the many difficulties she has with the move, the substantial increase in the budget stands out.
A year ago, $60 million was allocated to the ECJ to carry out the functions of the Political Ombudsman's Commission. There are already 8 or 9, including Director of Elections, commissioners who are already being paid. And I thought that was one of the reasons that this would be an additional activity for them to do so. I'm not sure how often they meet, whether it's monthly or weekly or daily. I don't know how often the ECJ works. I don't know if there are full-time commissioners among them other than the Director of Elections. I don't know what were the tasks that the Parliament saw that would have to be undertaken that would require a top-up of $60 million on the ECJ's budget. But we never got, in my term, and certainly in Bishop Blair's term, never got more than $25 million.
The standalone office of the Ombudsman had been frequently criticized as being a waste of taxpayers' money. Mrs. Parchment Brown has rejected that criticism. She says despite the increase in budget, the long-standing staff members were treated poorly when the office was closed.
As far as I know, the staff of the Ombudsman's Commission have not received a penny in termination with this change. And I would have thought that everybody should have been paid, not me, I had left already, but the surviving members of staff should have been paid redundancy. Some were there for 20 years and walked away with not a cent.
The former ombudsman is questioning whether the increase in the budget has resulted in value for money.
But to allocate $60 million and then the as far as we know, the local government elections came. We're not aware of any cost associated with that. The whole year has gone by. We're not aware of any cost associated with the duties of the ombudsman in the last year. And we're now, I guess they have another $60 million. I'm not sure to do what.
Repeated efforts to reach the chairman of the ECJ, Earl Jarrett, were unsuccessful. He also did not return calls from our newsroom after we left messages with a woman who answered his phone. Mahiri Stewart for Nationwide News.
A 19-year-old male sex worker is recovering in hospital after being shot during an attempted robbery in New Kingston early Monday morning. The injured man was attacked around 4:45 on Robert Crescent. He was dressed in female clothing and was wearing a wig at the time. More in this report. The man was reportedly soliciting services when he was approached by another man driving a Toyota Probox with public passenger license plates. Investigations indicate that the male sex worker directed the man to a location on Beechwood Avenue where he usually conducts business. But instead of following those directions, the driver diverted onto Robert Crescent. The man reportedly brandished a handgun and demanded the male sex worker's handbag. He refused to comply and was subsequently shot in the groin. Despite his injury, the sex worker managed to escape. He ran and eventually collapsed at the entrance of a guest house on Beechwood Avenue. The police were summoned. The injured man was transported to Kingston Public Hospital, where he was admitted. Police reports suggest that robbery was the motive behind the attack. Further reports reveal that the man had been previously robbed on several occasions. He was reportedly not welcomed by other sex workers operating in the area. Authorities note that the location where the incident occurred is not considered a traditional crime hotspot. Investigators continue to probe the matter as they work to apprehend the suspect. Robeanne Williams for Nationwide News. The Ministry of Tourism is reporting that Carnival in Jamaica 2025 has recorded its highest ever visitor arrivals for the annual celebration. Preliminary data indicate that during Carnival Week, April 22 and April 27, more than 8,500 tourists arrived in the country, a 15.5% increase over the same period in 2024. Over 7,000 Jamaicans also visited, taking total passenger arrivals to more than 17,000, a 20% year-over-year increase. State Minister Senator Delano Seavright says the economic impact was especially felt in the accommodation subsector.
We certainly had a very strong carnival in Jamaica this year, 2025. Last year, we, of course, did very well. We had direct spending in the amount of 4.42 billion Jamaican dollars. And of course, there is a multiplier effect of that expenditure, which goes into the indirect and induced realms. We expect fairly similar numbers this year. We do know that the impact has been quite significant on our hotel sector. All the hotels in Kingston were full. Most of the Airbnb accommodations in the corporate area and other short-term rental accommodations in the corporate area were full. And we had quite a number of visitors and revelers who were staying in the Ocho Rios areas and persons staying as far as St. Elizabeth for Carnival in Jamaica.
Tourism Minister Edmund Bartlett hailed the strong performance as a testament to the island's growing appeal as a global entertainment destination. He says the record-breaking numbers translate directly into increased revenue for hotels, restaurants, transportation providers that should be, and small businesses. Meanwhile, Senator Seavright says the indirect impact is also expected to be significant.
Beyond that, at the micro and small business level, the peanut man, the hairdressers, the barbers, the costume designers, the fashion designers, the nail technicians, and the whole works, many of them experienced robust business over the last several days, and we're very happy about that. We're also quite excited at the fact that quite a number of revelers and quite a number of participants in Carnival in Jamaica will be staying on island to experience attractions in and around Kingston and also along the North Coast as part of their extended vacation packages. So that is also very positive news, and we're happy about that impact so far.
Senator Delano Seavright, State Minister of Tourism. Meanwhile, Senator Seavright says he's pleased with the work being done to position Jamaica as a leading events destination.
We're very pleased with the private-public collaborative approach that has been taken with the respective bands and, of course, the Ministry of Tourism and its agencies and the National Solid Waste Management Authority, the Kingston and St. Andrew Municipal Corporation, and the Jamaica Constabulary Force. I believe the level of organization is really phenomenal and very professional and really putting Jamaica as a premier events destination in the Caribbean in a very good light. And we're very happy about that because we want to push more entertainment. We want to push more sports-related events. And what we have seen over the last several weeks is literally a city pumped with action and activity, from the Boys and Girls Champs to the Grand Slam to, of course, the Easter holidays and now Carnival in Jamaica.
Senator Delano Seavright, State Minister for Tourism. To regional news now, Cuba on Tuesday arrested a high-profile dissident 3 months after releasing the activist from jail as part of a Vatican-brokered deal with the Biden administration. Jose Daniel Ferrer was arrested for violating the terms of his parole. Cuba's Supreme Popular Tribunal said Ferrer had failed to attend 2 mandatory court hearings, a violation of Cuban law and the conditions of his release. He also reportedly announced on social media that he would not appear before the judicial authority. Ferrer's sister, Ana Belkis Ferrer, said on social media that her brother, as well as his wife Nelva, their son, and several activists had been detained by police. Ferrer also lives in Santiago de Cuba, has maintained that he was wrongly jailed by Cuban authorities from the start, and that his presence at any judicial hearing was unnecessary. A 42-year-old Trinidad and Tobago man is in police custody after slitting his mother's throat during an argument. The housewife, aged 60, was allegedly attacked at home Sunday afternoon. The two were reportedly engaged in a property dispute. The suspect is said to have armed himself with a cutlass, which he used to slit his mother's throat. The injured woman was taken to Chaguanas district health facility, where she was treated before being transferred to the Eric Williams Medical Sciences Complex and admitted in stable condition. In international news, Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney says his country deserves respect from the U.S. and will only enter trade and security talks with President Donald Trump on its own terms. In a major comeback for the Liberals, Carney secured a historic victory for the party in a snap election on Monday. With almost all votes counted, results from Elections Canada showed that the Liberals had won 168 electoral districts, followed by the Conservatives with 144. Speaking exclusively to the BBC as the polls were closing, Carney said he would only visit Washington when there was a serious discussion to be had that respected Canada's sovereignty. Since Trump's re-election to the White House, the U.S. president has repeatedly mentioned making Canada the 51st state of America, which has infuriated Canadians. Carney says such a scenario was never, ever going to happen. That's it for local, regional, and international news. Sports is next.
The Midday News was brought to you by Total Tools. Every tool, every trade. Success powered by learning. The Time brought to you by Sandals Corporate University. Come grow with us is
16 minutes after 12.
Don't fall victim to deepfakes.
Watch out.
Protect yourself.
What is the
For
on
more
my TV?
information, visit broadcastingcommission.org or
Here ya,
scan
baby.
the QR code on screen.
Deepfake. No deepfake can't catch me.
Junior, you know say AI can make something will look and sound just like you? One day Junior get a voice note from her granny. Say the food done, the medication done, and she need money urgently.
Need money urgently. But Miss Pat no like ask people for things.
And as so comes, Judy get suspicious.
So what she do?
She asks the neighbor to go check pan her. Junior, the lady quite alright over there make her Sunday dinner.
So the voice note a deepfake.
Yes, my love. Come, your food ready.
Right now it look like we have to outsmart the AI. But wait. I really want dege dumpling here, give me.
Me I wonder if AI can make one deep fake dumpling for you.
To learn more about deepfakes, visit www.broadcastingcommission.org.
From the Nationwide News Network, comprehensive, up-to-the-minute local and international sports news, this is the Nationwide Sports at Noon.
Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to your midday sports report here on Nationwide 90 FM. I'm Wayne Walker. The Bahamas will not be sending a team to the World Athletics Relays in Guangzhou, China, May 10 to 11. CEO of Bahamas Association of Athletics Association, Maybelline Miller, says this is due to a lack of available athletes, making it not feasible to field a competitive team. Miller says they were able to identify 4 athletes for the men's 4x100 meters team, but was unable to find a fifth. As As for the mixed relays, Miller says they just didn't have the legs to compete. The final entry list confirms that 734 athletes from 43 confederations have been entered for the global competition in China. This is only the second time the Bahamas will miss the World Athletics Relays. The Bahamas also missed the World Relays in 2021 when the event went to Poland. At that time, the world was still in recovery from COVID-19, and a number of nations, including the Bahamas, didn't compete. The United States, Canada, Jamaica, and Trinidad and Tobago also didn't take part in the meet at the time. As a result, it's the only World Relays in which a nation other than the United States topped the medal chart and point standings. The first three World Relays were held in Nassau at the Thomas A. Robinson Stadium, as well as the sixth edition in 2024 after stops in Japan in 2019 and the aforementioned Poland in 2021. The global spectacle is set to make a return to Nassau in 2028 after going to Botswana. The European Champions League will enter its semi-final stage today. English Premier League campaigners Arsenal will welcome the French champions Paris Saint-Germain to the Emirates Stadium in the British capital for the first leg encounter starting at 2 o'clock Jamaica time this afternoon. The teams met in the group stages late last year, October to be exact, and Arsenal won that one by 2-0 in London. Meanwhile, the first leg of the other semi-final will be played on Wednesday with Internazionale Milan visiting Spain to face the Catalan team Barcelona. The second legs in both ties will be played next week. FIFA is to fund research into whether hormonal fluctuations during menstrual cycles could be contributing to the rise in anterior cruciate ligament ACL injuries in women's football. The year-long study at Kingston University in London will begin next month. Research suggests female footballers are 2 to 6 times more likely to suffer the injuries than their male counterpart. Vivian Miedema, Beth Mead, Leah Williamson, and Sam Kerr are among the players to have suffered the injury over the past 2 years. Players from London clubs, including Fulham and Chelsea, as well as some in the grassroots game, will take part in the research by regularly having their blood and physical performance tested. The research will track hormone concentration through their menstrual cycles, particularly estrogen and progesterone, with previous research suggesting they could be linked to increased ligament laxity and decreased neuromuscular reaction times. Scenarios that commonly lead to ACL injuries, such as rapid directional changes and landing after heading the ball, will be analyzed to see if there's a correlation with hormone levels. Jamaica Titans will be back in action in the West Indies Breakout T20 League on Tuesday. They face the Guyana Rainforest Rangers at the Brian Lamar Stadium in Trinidad and Tobago. This will be the Titans' second game at the tournament following their 6-wicket defeat to the Leeward Island Thunder last Saturday. In the second game on Tuesday, Barbados Pelicans will square off with the Windward Islands Infernos. Jamaica will be sending an 18-member team to participate in the Pan American Hockey Federation Men's CAC qualifiers in Mexico from May 3 to 11. The squad include Captain Ajani Burton, Vice Captain Rashid Johnston, Mark Koch, Rashid McCarthy, Tosif Graham, Daniel Powell, Dwight O'Hara, Kevon Reed, Philip Dawson, Rajay Singh, Brandon Clark, Christopher Reed, Jean-Paul Houghton, Faraj Masters, Nicole Stevenson, Ronaldo Golding, Sean Arancevia, and Tyrone Vernon. Reed is the only international-based player in the squad. Head coach Devon Henlon says the squad is a blend of youth and experience from 6 clubs across Jamaica.
Chris has been with the national setup and the junior team since 2018. So he has been a part of the national program since then. He was also a part of the squad that went to the World Cup in Oman. So he's not new to the setup. Originally he was based in Jamaica until last year though. They are strong leaders. They show great strength. Majani has been the team captain since 2022. So he has been leading the team since then. We haven't seen any changes in his capabilities and he has just been growing from strength to strength. Ronaldo Golding is the school player that's on the team currently. He's the youngest. I think he's 15 years old. He has shown great talent as a young player. For one,
Jamaica will open their campaign at the tournament on May 3 against Guatemala before facing Venezuela, Panama, Bermuda, and the host country Mexico.
Winning the first game will always set the right tone and give the team great confidence going into their next game, and they can continue to build from that to get to the ultimate goal, which is qualifying for the CSE games. Any team that starts in a positive tend to normally find it a way a bit easier to get into the tournament. So we were looking forward to getting that first win. We have played the Guatemalan team quite a few times over the past years, dating back to about 2018 when we first played them. It's a team that has been growing. We have never lost to them to date, so we will take that as a great positive, and we'll try to continue that trend.
That's Devon Henlon, coach of the Jamaica team going off to the CSE qualifiers. That's the Pan American Hockey Federation competition. Jack Draper reached the round of 16 at the Madrid Open after opponent Matteo Berrettini retired injured as play resumed following a nationwide power cut. Play was suspended on Monday in the Spanish capital after the electronic line call system and scoreboards went down. Power was restored to the venue on Tuesday morning, allowing fifth seed Draper to take on the Italian Berrettini, who is ranked number 30 in the world. Draper won the opening set 7-6 in a tiebreaker after 57 minutes, finally converting his third set point opportunity. At the end of the set, Berrettini withdrew from the match after speaking to Draper, indicating he had an abdominal problem. Draper will face the American Tommy Paul in the last 16. Earlier, Grigor Dimitrov converted his third match point over 24 hours after his first to beat Jacob Fernie and reach the quarterfinals. The match was suspended during Monday's outage, with Dimitrov leading 6-4, 5-4, and they resumed their match on Tuesday after Iga Swiatek's battling 3-set win over Diana Schneider. Bulgaria's Dimitrov eventually beat the 23-year-old Brit 6-4, 7-6, and power has also been restored to Portugal as well. Both countries suffered massive power outage over Sunday night into Monday morning. St. George's Slayers will take on the UWI Running Rebels in the first game of a doubleheader in the National Basketball League at the Stadium Courts on Tuesday evening at 6:15. In Game 2, Raytown Raptors will take on Urban Knights. And finally, in sports at this time, Cleveland Cavaliers wrapped up their Eastern Conference NBA playoff series against Miami Heat after winning Game 4, 138-83 in Cleveland on Monday. Donovan Mitchell bagged 22 points for Cleveland, who swept the best-of-7 series by 4-0. Meanwhile, Golden State Warriors, they moved into a 3-1 lead over Houston Rockets in their Western Conference series thanks to a 109-106 victory also on Monday. And that will do it for your midday sports report here on Nationwide 90 FM. Sports is going to be back on the station at 5:25 this afternoon. Until then, I'm Wayne Walker. Enjoy the rest of the afternoon.
Your share from the NWC's bucket full of goodies? Don't worry. The debt amnesty package has been extended for another 2 months. From now until May 31, you could benefit from debt write-offs. To find out if you qualify for benefits under the amnesty package, don't delay. Let's hear from you today. Dial 888-225-5692 or 888 code NWC. The NWC Debt Amnesty, a part of our bucket full of goodies.
New KFC saucy wings. Attention all wings lovers. KFC saucy wings with 2 new flavors. Mango habanero and buffalo. Spicy. KFC we have saucy wings. Delicious. Spicy the best. So a new KFC saucy wings crunch the rest. Nobody does wings like KFC. New saucy wings is for me.
New KFC saucy wings. Delicious, hot and spicy wings tossed in savory mango habanero or buffalo sauce. Wings that will crunch the rest. New KFC saucy wings. It's finger licking good.
To recap our top stories making the world at noon. TikToker shot and killed while live streaming. Manhunt launched for prisoner who escaped police guard while at Kingston Hospital. Former political ombudsman questions reason for budget increase for downscaled office. Carnival in Jamaica brings in more than 8,000 tourists in a single week. I'm Robeanne Williams. You can find the news on our website at nationwideradiojm.com and on the Nationwide app available on Google Play and the App Store. Major news next at 5. Good afternoon.
The NWC's amnesty package has been extended. You now have until May 31 to see if you qualify. Call 888-225-5692. The time by the NWC is
12:28.
Tune in to Nationwide 90 FM on Tuesday, April 29 from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. for the live sectoral presentation by the Minister of National Security, the Honorable Dr. Horace Chang. Also, you can view the presentation on Nationwide 90 FM's YouTube channel at Nationwide 90 FM Live 2. So tune in to Nationwide 90 FM on Tuesday, April 29 from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. It's the live sectoral presentation by the Minister of National Security, the Honorable Dr. Horace Chang. All this and more only on Nationwide 90 FM, the new revolution in media. This broadcast is sponsored by the Ministry of National Security.
The Nationwide 90 FM Schoolyard Tour 2025 is taking the vibes island-wide, straight to your schoolyard. Stay tuned to the E-Zone and find out which school they're going to visit next. It's all about empowering minds and igniting the fun. Expect live entertainment, games, and big surprises as we bring the Nationwide 90 FM energy to every stop. And you know we must stream it live on our YouTube channel at Nationwide 90 FM Live 2. It's the Schoolyard Tour. Catch the live stream on Nationwide's YouTube channel at Nationwide 90 FM Live 2. Keep your station locked to Nationwide 90 FM for more details. All this and more only on Nationwide 90 FM, the new revolution in media. The Schoolyard Tour is brought to you by the Students' Loan Bureau, KFC, Tip Friendly Society, National Council on Drug Abuse, and ATL Automotive.
Big news! The Big Bite Food Safety Show now airs on Nationwide 90 FM with your host, Alison Richards, the Food Safety Girl. Join Alison every Tuesday from 1 to 2 p.m. as she serves up expert advice, tips, and insights on everything food safety. Stay informed, stay vigilant, and remember, food safety is everybody's business. Don't miss a bite of the action. Tuesdays at 1 p.m. only on Nationwide 90 FM, the new revolution in media. Join us on the next episode for Street Food Chronicles. Are you being jerked over?
Equality. There is no reason why I can't do what men always do. Split everything evenly. Jobs, salary, benefits, you name it. Why should men be taking the lead?
Well, that's easy to say when all the talk about equality begins and ends with big jobs, positions, and money. You ever heard men running down equality? Nope. We live well alone and know the roles are separate. Some things are equal and some just ain't. But how much hypocrisy is really in this equality argument? Join me, Rodney Campbell, every Tuesday from 9 to 10:30 p.m. for Affairs of the Heart, right here on Nationwide 90 FM. This Tuesday's topic:
50-50 in everything is what we want.
Until here comes the bill.
50-50. Affairs of the Heart is brought to you by Supermed Pharmacy. Super happy, super healthy, Supermed.
The Ministry of Health and Wellness. Healthy people, healthy environment. Dewars. Here's to the story.
And Durex, distributed by Massey Distribution Limited, Jamaica.
Hi there. Here's some good news for these trying times. Quote, "By God's word, I can see where I'm going. They throw a beam of light on my dark path." Unquote. Psalm 119, verse 105. Listen for God's Word weekdays at 5:45 a.m. and 12:55 p.m. through
Oasis. Stop by for a refreshing drink and share a God perspective for the day.
Oasis. Weekdays 5:45 a.m. and 12:55 p.m. right here on Nationwide, a revolution in media.
The rebroadcast of the Oasis can be heard weekdays at 5:45 a.m.
Timeline with the stinger, Honey Bee.
Good afternoon, and 12:33 in the afternoon. It's all about what's trending on the timeline now with She's Back.
With She's Back, you know. It's so good to be back.
Mm-hmm.
It's a matter of fact.
Mm-hmm.
Drop a line, no? How are you doing?
Fine without you.
Yes, well... Well, I'm still happy to be here with you today.
That's good to know.
Let's dive into the timeline, see what's happening. I don't know if you saw this, but another TikToker, yes, has been shot dead during live stream now.
And it happened in Red Hills. I
Yes,
think I said Red
Cliff.
Hills Road.
Yes.
It's not Red Hills Road, it's Red Hills. It
Yes, the vicinity of Queenie's snack shop.
Yes.
Right. Man, so the St. Andrew North Police are probing the execution style killing of a man who was shot dead during a social media live stream. Dead is Jabari Johnson. Yes. Reports are that Johnson was live on the social media platform TikTok in the vicinity of Queenie's snack shop on Red Hills Road in St. Andrew.
Not Red Hills Road.
So the snack shop is not on Red Hills Road.
No,
It's just in Red Hills.
Red Hills, the community of Red Hills near the square.
Okay, got you. So he was live, right, on TikTok when he was approached by a hooded figure. Now the man, decked in black and wearing a mask, opened fire at close range, hitting Johnson several times in the head and in the upper body. Johnson fell to the ground. His killer then fired several more bullets in the direction of the body. This is the fourth high-profile murder of a popular TikTok figure in recent months. The young man is believed to be the son of Jamason, a reggae artist.
Yeah.
It's just, and I did see the clip. I don't know if you saw it.
I saw it, and boy, you're not supposed to watch those.
No.
It really jolted me for minutes.
Yeah,
I
man.
could not deal. How do you do
It's
that?
graphic, man. It's why, Cliff? I don't know what to say.
And what could be the motive now?
Exactly.
Any
leads we know? We don't know. So far, we have to stay close and.
But that the killer, yes, didn't do a good job of hiding himself.
No.
Thankfully.
Yes.
Yeah, and I hope the person or persons who know him, have reported him to the police. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Because
I hope
broad
so too.
daylight.
Exactly. I saw you brazen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But and I think they wanted to make a statement.
Clearly.
Because to do it whilst he's live. So obviously you're watching this young man. So I think they saw that he was live and wanted this sort of reaction and this sort of outrage.
Yeah.
Because if you're planning on doing something like that, why not do it in the dark of night?
Yeah. Why?
And sneak away? No. You want it to be in the news.
And there was another person sitting outside or in front of the piazza of the shops who took away themselves.
Yeah.
And he would have been in full view of that person.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
So I don't think it should be too difficult to identify who it is.
It shouldn't be. I really hope that this is one of those cases that can, that they can close really quickly, that
And
they can
get him
find
quickly.
him.
Yeah.
Man. Boy,
Well, what
boy.
is it with TikTokers?
And it would appear as if it's the TikTokers or it's the platform, Cliff, but
No, it can't be the platform.
it's not.
It's what they're saying
It's
or doing on the platform.
And we have spoken about this at length as well. The fact that the thing about TikTok is that it's such a liberating space. Like the rules and the regulations and all of these other things that govern other spaces like Instagram or even YouTube is not necessarily on TikTok. On TikTok you can almost wear anything. You have to be covered because if you show any indecency, they will suspend your page and whatever. But you don't have to be. You don't have to look great. The aesthetics doesn't matter. You can You can carry on almost in any way and find a niche and find a following.
Yeah.
You understand what I mean? What I mean is that there's every type of people over there.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't even have to be worried about packaging anything in too politely or you know what I mean,
I
or
saw
properly.
one the other day with Amari and another woman. Amari and I don't even remember the name, and I was like,
Amari, who did live again?
What the hell?
Do you remember what they were talking about?
No, me can. Oh, they were talking about the man who. No, man.
No, Gully Papa's still news, you know, if Amari's moved on.
Whatever it was.
Right.
It was outrageous.
Jesus, so you come across that?
I don't know, but it came up and I was just, huh?
Because that's the thing with TikTok too, you know, it does that a lot. It really does help. The algorithm, it helps. What? It pushes this type of content right in front of your face. That's why I don't even scroll up on TikTok, you know. Because the things you can come across, believe me, is surely and urgently upsetting.
Mm-hmm. And shocking.
Well. You can just be on TikTok scrolling and boom, somebody gets murdered.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Why?
It's truly awful.
Well, I hope they find the killer of this man very quickly.
Yes.
Huh?
Lisa Black here saying it's Rosalie, right? I do remember Rosalie and Amari, right?
Yes, Rosalie,
right.
That's the name. She's
All right. Let's move on, yes? So, Queen Ifrica's lawyer is ready to challenge defamation lawsuit filed by Father Derek Morgan. Dancehall Mag shared that Seymour Stewart, the attorney at law representing Queen Ifrica, real name Ventrice Morgan, has confirmed that there will be a case management session on May 8 in the defamation suit filed by Skasinger, Derek Morgan, against his daughter, Queen Ifrica. I cannot say much now, but I will have more to say after a case management session in May, attorney at law Stewart said. Now, according to the defamation suit, the Lioness on the Rise singer made several alleged defamatory statements, videos, and interviews on August 1, 2023. In the video in question, Queen Ifrica revealed that as a child, she had an estranged relationship with Morgan due to issues surrounding her mother. However, as an adult, she attempted to reconnect with him. Queen Ifrica allegations described a specific incident where she was sexually assaulted at Derek Morgan's Kingston residence. She said that she was raped and that the incident was an act of incest. The family of ska legend Derek Morgan has denied the allegations. Merrick Morgan, a son of the ska legend, called the allegations malicious and baseless. So Charles Advocate Ganga Singh, who is representing the ska great, is looking forward to clearing his client's name. We will be following this case here as well.
She's okay? Queen Ifrica.
I can't say specifically. The last time I saw her in person was at Rebel Salute. I remember I was praising her performance, and she did talk about the case there on stage as well.
Yeah.
She did say that this is the year they're gonna be in court and she's gonna fight.
Okay.
So let's see what happens. Cliff. All right. We're gonna take a break on this note. We'll be right back.
The kitchen isn't just a room. It's where life happens, where meals are made, stories are shared, and memories take shape. At Active Home Center, we help you design a kitchen that works for you. Stylish cabinets, top quality appliances, stunning countertops, sleek faucets, sinks, and cabinet pulls. Everything in one place. Sit with our experienced kitchen experts and bring your dream kitchen to life. Your dream kitchen starts here. Visit us in Kingston at 84 Constant Spring Road. Active Home Center. More savings, more choices.
Big news. The Big Bite Food Safety Show now airs on Nationwide 90 FM with your host, Alison Richards, the Food Safety Girl. Join Alison every Tuesday from 1 to 2 p.m. as she serves up expert advice, tips, and insights on everything food safety. Stay informed, stay vigilant, and remember, food safety is everybody's business. Don't miss a bite of the action. Tuesdays at 1 p.m. only on Nationwide 90 FM, the new revolution in media. Join us on the next episode for Street Food Chronicles. Are you being jerked over?
Tune in to Nationwide 90 FM on Tuesday, April 29 from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. for the live sectoral presentation by the Minister of National Security, the Honorable Dr. Horace Chang. Also, you can view the presentation on Nationwide 90 FM's YouTube channel at Nationwide 90 FM Live 2. So tune in to Nationwide 90 FM on Tuesday, April 29 from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. It's the live sectoral presentation by the Minister of National Security, the Honorable Dr. Horace Chang. All this and more only on Nationwide 90 FM, the new revolution in media. This broadcast is sponsored by the Ministry of National Security.
The Nationwide 90 FM Schoolyard Tour 2025 is taking the vibes island-wide, straight to your schoolyard. Stay tuned to the E-Zone and find out which school they're going to visit next. It's all about empowering minds and igniting the fun. Expect live entertainment, games, and big surprises as we bring the Nationwide 90 FM energy to every stop. And you know we must stream it live on our YouTube channel at Nationwide 90 FM Live 2. It's the Schoolyard Tour. Catch the live stream on Nationwide's YouTube channel at Nationwide 90 FM Live 2. Keep your station locked to Nationwide 90 FM for more details. All this and more only on Nationwide 90 FM, the new revolution in media. The Schoolyard Tour is brought to you by the Students' Loan Bureau, KFC, Tip Friendly Society, National Council on Drug Abuse, and ATL Automotive.
Welcome back.
Welcome back. Boy.
All right. Boy, Cliff will say a lotty.
A lot.
So much, man. In the social media space. And talking about social media, costume versus no costume. A viral social media post has sparked a debate over the Gen X band's costume requirements for accessing drinks at their truck during the recent carnival festivities.
What is this now?
Sophia Bryan shared on TikTok, on the TikTok platform, that she was denied a drink despite wearing her armbands, as she had opted out of wearing a full costume this year. Now we've got a clip of her explaining what happened.
Oh. I am a dark-skinned, professional, plus-size Jamaican woman. Those biometric data, that's going to become important in a minute. I participated in both Juve and Mass with Gen X Band. So anybody that plays Mass knows that it's a very hot situation. I got a lot of sunburn last year, and in an effort to avoid that, I only wore my bucket hat, and I'm in a black top and black leggings, right? Waited till last minute to purchase a package, and I just decided that I'm not prepared to get any sunburn this year, and I came up with my group friends. So I went to the truck and I was told that I should not be given any drinks. A manager, a light-skinned, mature lady, who had a name tag with that says Joan, told the bartenders not to give me any drinks. She said I'm not wearing a costume, and I said, well, I'm wearing my hat. I didn't want to wear the shirt and the shorts. Quite frankly, they're not appealing on my body, and I'm wearing my armband. See, I even still have on the Juve armband because I'm not able to take it off myself, so it's still on. Joan shouts on the top of her lungs saying, I'm not supposed to get any drinks, I'm not wearing a costume, and an armband means nothing. I said to her, I didn't see that on any of the rules and regulations or policy that you have to wear a costume. Furthermore, is a t-shirt and shorts really considered a costume, right? I'm wearing the cap, wearing my armband. She said no, claps her hands, shouts on the top of her lungs. No, I'm not to get any drinks. Of course, I'm extremely embarrassed, humiliated, and just in shock that I am going through this after paying my money. Joan says, get a lawyer, when I asked her if she's prepared to give me a refund because this makes no sense to me. She says, go and get a lawyer. And I said, well, I am a lawyer. So this is an invitation to Gen X to handle this situation expeditiously. This is a foreign company coming into our country, and you have managers who are embarrassing patrons and humiliating patrons. And based on Joan's facial expression, she quite, in my opinion, from what I could see, enjoyed what she was doing.
All right, Gen XS has released a statement since. They said, we are aware of the video currently circulating regarding an encounter between one of our Gen XS sirs and a member of our team. At Gen XS Carnival, inclusivity, equality, equity, and respect are the foundation of who we are. Discrimination has no place here and never will. Our team has launched a thorough investigation into this matter. We have personally reached out to the masquerader involved, and we are doing everything within our power to restore her faith in our brand, giving her the experience we promised and the one she absolutely deserves. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are committed to taking all necessary steps to improve the experience for every member of our community and to ensure that incidents like this never happen again. We will continue to hold ourselves accountable as we work toward a better Gen experience for every member of our family. Thank you for your patience, understanding, and your invaluable support. Right. That was a statement that Gen XS put out. Yes. But these are the sort of things that tend to happen sometimes at these massive events, Cliff. Like, there's so many different things at play. I mean, you, on a personal level.
Yeah.
You don't know what had happened to me earlier, why I feel the way I feel right now, why I'm talking to you the way I'm talking to you. It could be discrimination. It also could just be that I'm just dealing with a lot at the moment, and I am not myself, and I'm not operating at the level that I should be operating at, or I'm not representing my brand how I should be representing my brand, and therefore treat you in a manner that was just absolutely unfair and unfit. It could be any of these things.
Yeah,
we're sorry to hear that. Sophia Bryan experienced what she did, and I'm sure they can work it out.
I hope so.
Yes, indeed. But.
How was the carnival for you?
How was the carnival for me? It was great to watch.
Well, you watched
from my home. The people.
You didn't jump.
Gallivanting. I didn't jump.
You didn't do road.
I didn't do road. I don't. Are you a carnival person? Are you a soca person?
There was a time when I was.
When you did younger. So.
Yes. There was a time.
I've never necessarily been a soca or carnival person. I don't know. I don't necessarily have an intrinsic desire to go or for it. It's not that I would never go, but the motivation would have to come externally, and it hasn't yet. So therefore, yes.
I've been to Trinidad too.
You've been to Trinidad?
Yeah.
Like, I would totally go to Trinidad.
Yeah?
Yes.
So you should go to Brazil as well.
And you've been to Brazil too?
No, I didn't do Brazil.
Oh, come on, I say you did a take it on serious. Yes. And I think we've had this conversation before, and I did ask if you don't have any pictures.
I do.
And I asked you to show me them,
No.
and you didn't. So every year I go to the same thing? Just bring a picture of them, Cliff.
No.
Come on, man. You used to be in costume?
Yes.
Sure. You know what? Share
If you
that.
don't road.
Come on, Cliff. Seriously, I could have whined in time there.
So I can't why now.
You're right. You're right. I am assuming. Why would I make an assumption about? You know what, Kevin? Put on a song there. Give a young brother there.
I think it's time for
No,
us
time
to
it
say
have. Well,
good-
6 minutes.
Good
Give a young brother to make
afternoon.
Cliff show me what Westland can still do. Cause in me, once I can whine in it, I must still can't whine. You mean, Cliff? Sure. The young brother there, man. The song where I run the place. Where I say you
Have a
don't have
good-
to do too much.
Honeybee.
We look a bit, not Cliff,
Have a
like we enjoy
good
ourselves. Look a
afternoon.
bit like how we never get
wanna
to come here
say-
and you.
We want to say thanks to all of our callers, our YouTubers, our WhatsAppers, and our tweeps. Yeah. Thanks to our producer, Reggae Bant, and our technical operator, Kevin Williams. That's where we're going to leave it for today.
You're
We're
not
going to
off
make
at once,
way
Sir
now.
Cliff.
We're going to make way now for Oasis. with
Right before
Lloyd
Lloyd
Gale.
Gale. Right before Lloyd
No,
Gale.
no,
Drop
no,
a tune
no.
there, Kevin.
Have a good afternoon.
Drop a tune, Kevin. Come, Cliff. Move it here there. Move it here there and
You
show me
go.
what your waistline
You
can
go.
do.
You
Show me
go.
what your
Go to
waistline
Oasis,
can do.
yeah?
I'm not time for
I make other
Oasis.
beat.
Kevin,
Put you
don't
in
make
trouble.
Cliff bully you. Do not make Cliff bully. Cliff, get up, man. Remember we leaving.
You've just heard Cliff Hughes online on Nationwide 90 FM. Join Cliff Monday to Thursdays between 10 a.m. and 1 p.m. for Cliff Hughes Online.
Like a rock. My hands were steady.